Hannover's TFT LAN finals. Everything is going off at maximum speed today. I'm here with MaizyMarizpan and Vearless. You'll notice, of course, Vearless, that our players don't have names. This is a kind of a unique situation we're in.
This is very unique. We actually had done some research prior as to who plays what tactician, but as of right now, everyone is a ghost.
We just have a bunch of river sprites all ready to go, a bunch of nameless river sprites. So apologies for this technical issue, but we will look to have the players' names added for the second game.
Yes, we'll do our best, I suppose. For the time being, so I mean, while we get this initial thing set up, of course, we don't know who corresponds to each account quite yet. We will be trying to find that out, so we've got some idea of what's going on. Would you guys mind running through us who we've actually got playing?
So, I mean, we have actually a big bunch of people. I feel like the majority of players that we've got are either from Germany and Italy, like a lot of big names we have got represented. And I know, Maizy, you were talking about Sweller Tiger before, because this apparently is a player that has been playing since the very beginning and has been super high ranked throughout all of them.
Oh, absolutely. Sweller Tiger is one of our Italian players today and has been challenger in every single set since TFT began. So this is an absolute titan of European teamfight tactics right now.
I think they're also currently ranked number 2 as of right now in the standings. So probably this is truly one of the players that's up for the title, but I mean, we can't bring up the scoreboard as of right now, but all the points are, I think, within reach for everyone. The title is still up for grabs for anyone, because it's between either 55 for the lowest 4, and then the highest having 58. So anything is still up for grabs.
So this is, I guess, another thing which is, the consequence of us playing here on LAN is we initially were supposed to be playing for checkmate, but I believe at this point we'll get clarification between rounds that we I don't know if we're carrying over points from the main stage or not, or if we're just starting again from scratch, but we have got an update as to who is who. So I'm also aware that this is going to be very hard to keep track of on stream, so I might just see if we don't get the names back for game 2, we'll get a little display on the side just so we can kind of correspond. So Sweller Tiger is 1, Balotelli is 2, Ball is 3, 2 Beers is 4, 5 is Brozilla, 6 is Refresh Wow, 7 is Kevin Parker, and 8 is DeVito. So we'll keep repeating that because I know it's going to be almost impossible to keep track of that in your head. But right now we are following number 8, who is DeVito.
Thank you for the clarification on that. Again, apologies at home for anyone watching. This is a little confusing, but we will do our best to make sure that game 2 is a little clearer for you all.
I see actually a lot of people at the moment having a large chunk of mascots on their bench. Of course, the mascot Yumi comp has been on a roll in this set, is definitely one of the meta comps as we speak. But I feel like it might be contested a little bit. Someone I saw had already a Galio 2, which is very tanky, which is number 7, with a Nessus, and now has picked up an Ennie's potential for an Ennie 2 if they want to be going for this, but then hoping probably to get a win, so they have the 2 gold, and then to buy that one up. But so far, it's a lot of Galios all across the boards.
Yeah, speaking with some of the players before the tournament began, I can note that Brozilla, Sweller Tiger, and Balotelli all favor these mascot comps, so it will be interesting to see if they get contested or not, but it does seem to be really strong in this meta right now.
I'm certainly with you guys in worrying that perhaps if people do stick to the mascots too firmly, that they'll get caught out, because you do need to get them up to the 3 stars if they're going to last longer term. The Annie actually does not get picked up. That's really interesting for number 7, aka Kevin Parker TFT. I do want to take a second though to pop across and check out our top performers. So Balotelli is number 2, and they're currently at the top of the table as well, conveniently. They were the only person who came through the first day of play with 5 firsts out of the... There were 8 games played, and in their first 5, they were first every single one of those games.
Yeah, they're going for this brawler setup at the moment. They have a Bredicton that's already 2-star, which is very nice to have that 10 going on. And the Galio with a brawler emblem. So that means already 4 brawlers up on his board. And now going up against a lot of threats here with a double Rammus and the Cho'Gath alongside it. I mean, threats in the beginning could be very nice because obviously, you know, that's what threats are for, because they in themselves have a lot of powers without having traits activated. But it's gonna be quite tough. I don't think the 2-star Reddington can actually come in clutch here.
Yeah, the oops all threat comp, as I've been calling it, is incredibly strong, especially with early. It looks like they've been picked up off the Three's Company augment there as well, which is just a nice little early game boost in tempo, especially with these threat units, like as you say, they're maybe traitless but have a lot of extra abilities and stats to make up for that. Yeah. Balotelli with the Brawler album as well, like, lets us think that we could maybe see 8 Brawlers. That extra 111% extra HP that 8 Brawlers brings to the table is huge right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of players who have been going Brawlers. Sweller Tiger in particular was very known for running Brawlers into Jax in the first stage, Sweller being our number 2 finisher with 57 points overall. I do want to touch on this player we saw who was emoting very wildly as we saw them getting the win just there. This is number 3, aka Padabol.
Oh, they have the Thieves Gloves on the Kaiser, the Ezreal, so that means Recon activated underground for that Econ. And a bit of Brawler for the front line so far. I think the Vive, you can 2-star that, for example, is a great way to work around your Kaiser. And they have some Nylas up in there too, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna have like some mix of Recon Duelist. You could even switch into like an Aegis type of frontline if you have then the Echo alongside an Alistar, but that of course is more towards the late game.
Speaking of Aegis, Padabol today is represented by Team Aegis, so it would be quite appropriate to see him pull that out for us. Padabol is a European champion and world's finalist from set 4.5. So again, this is another Titan hard hitter for Europe coming in today. Really excited to see what Padabol is going to bring to the table.
And I like as well from Padabol's side of things, you know, I was talking to some of the players coming into the venue this morning. They're talking about Underground, which Padabol number 3 is running right now. If you find the setup early on, really good, but later on, you know, people just do not like it at all. Padabol is in the position to not just run a regular game, but also to get paid off for it huge if they can get enough underground heist going.
It's only 2 up, so he's gonna get the loot guaranteed after this next round. Of course, depends if you win or lose how much it is, but he's only 2 away, so that should be fine. And now they have they're going up against level number 5. Not quite sure who that was again, but
number 5 is Brozilla.
Oh yes. Well, they have the 2-star Ezreal with the Shojin already on top of it, so you can already see it is mowing everyone down, front and back line. And with that, I mean, even though they have a lot lower HP, I think now they have a pretty stable board to continue on.
So Brozilla is, yeah, you can see 2 underground enjoyers are both getting their first sights in, and they're thumbs up at each other saying, "Good job, you've done exactly what you needed to do."
That's it, the underground heist will be continuing here for Brozilla on Hannover 5 account here. I mean, who cashes out at this stage? He's got a really strong start, really great eco potential. Like, how long are we gonna ride underground? I'm here for to the moon, really.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from this early on, especially, you know, looking back to previous iterations of the same kind of concept, you know, where you'd have to like run a lost streak or similar. You know, with what Brozilla is doing right now, they can keep on winning. It slows down the underground, but you still get eventually paid out without having to take a lot of HP damage along the way.
Yeah, either way, it's a win. I mean, if you can win with or without underground, I would take with, because that means you have guaranteed like some extra nice little bonuses. And oh, look at this, they can 2-star the Blitz, so if they want a little bit more frontline, because the Brawler still stays in, and they have, oh, they're gonna be selling that Alistar in order to level up, still have the econ of 20 gold, but then we have the Nyla come in, so that means Duelist now also is activated with then the kill in the backline.
Let's drop over and check out what 2Beers, aka Hannover 4, is up to, because note, of course, the threats from before. Two Beards, known in the previous days for playing Reroll Lulu. This is, as far as I'm aware, a new composition for them to be bringing in here, leaning so heavily on the threats.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was about to say, like, is he playing Double Trouble? But no, he isn't. He's just, you know, going in full the threats. And it's working! They're tanky, they're 2-starred, and they're doing a lot of damage. They do have the Talia in the back lane and the blue buff, so most likely late game. Wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be trying to switch into then the either Spellslinger or Star Guardian type of comp. Because having a 4-star unit already this early on, you know, only 5% chance to hit it, so you might as well then try to work around it.
Two Beers here as well is interesting because the comp that they've been favoured and the comp that we spoke with him before, he said that he was looking to play reroll mascots, which is the comp he's just faced, but instead he's gone for this oops all threat Talia blue buff, potentially Talia carry composition, and that's going to be really fun to see where that goes, see him out of his comfort zone really.
He picked up the Annie, so that Spellslinger activated makes the Talia even stronger, and the Oxfords, yeah, with the Alistar. So this is a great setup. The only shame is, of course, that Alistar and Annie are both just a single unit. So ideally you want to have the 2-star, but they still have the threats around it for extra frontline for now. So I think, honestly, I'm not surprised if he can still continue win streaking.
Alright, well, let's pop down to the other end of the table then. So that is going to be 8 DeVito, along with Hannover 6, who is Refresh WoW. So our two lesser known players, currently towards the bottom of the table, so playing more risky. But it does look like Hannover 8, aka DeVito, has got himself a pretty solid board.
That does look to be the case, yeah. DeVito here, again, this is one of our lesser known players, so we don't have too much information on them, but they are running this reroll mascot comp that everyone so far has said they're really fond of, and certainly in my own games I've seen it endlessly, so it'll be interesting to see if they stick with that. But with one-off Gangplank 3, I think they're gonna cement their way into this comp, and hopefully that doesn't cannibalize our other mascot players here. It's just who dares wins with this comp.
The only scary thing is they've taken a lot of HP damage already. So, it's not very ideal. Ideally, you want to have a little bit more left, probably. And I think the main problem is that the Yuumi... Oh, there we go. The Yuumi 2 is picked up. I think that was truly one of the key points that was missing. Because that's, of course, where all your items are slammed on. If that's only a 2-star, it's not going to deal that much damage. But now, for Mascot, the items on Yuumi, this should be a lot more stable. Plus... because of, oh, wait, no, never mind. I thought he had an augment that was, when he doesn't have any nearby allies, that he gained attack speed, because everyone was spaced out. But, no, doesn't seem to be the case. But still, the Yuumi does a lot more damage, the front line stays strong, and this is looking a lot better than before.
Yeah, I'm somewhat encouraged. I think you guys brought it really well before, and I think it's maybe why we're seeing like the change of approach from, you know, Two Beards in particular. The players are very aware of what everyone was playing over day 1 and 2, and that in Two Beards' case in particular, by almost one trick here comp, you're kind of inviting other people to you know, contest you for it, and then effectively eliminate one of the other competitors. If you can only play one comp and someone else takes it before you, you know, immediately everyone else has got a better chance of winning.
That's for sure, and with the amount of players that have favoured similar comps, I could see there being a battle for the Yuumi reroll, I could see there being a battle for the Brawler Jax. It really just is who is going to come out and be the most flexible and adaptable player, or indeed who just snaps up the compositions first.
A small note from before, we were looking at, I believe, I'm trying to remember now, I'm trying to keep track of the numbers myself. But right now, the player on top, as we hop from top to bottom of the lobby again and again, will be number 2, aka Balotelli, who last night we were all at an Italian restaurant together because, of course, we're very fancy people. And of course, Balotelli is Italian, and the waiter was extremely impressed. They just started talking in Italian the entire meal long. It was wonderful to see.
That is the LAN vibe.
Balotelli is exceptionally Italian, not only favouring Italian restaurants in a German competition, but he was actually MVP of Team Italia, who won the Riot Summer Rumble in TFT.
Yeah, Balotelli is very much the real deal. Definitely one of the favourites coming in. I know one of showcasters, Niberia, Balotelli, one of his favourite players. I think they first had an interview together and immediately became fast friends. It was definitely a test to spectacular fellow, giving a pretty harsh loss there to Pardabolo number 3, who is starting to look a little bit shaky. Now, not in the bottom 2, which you can see is number 6 and number 8, who are both down on near 30. But there's still a big separation between the top 4 and the bottom 4.
Yeah, this is not very ideal because both number 6 and 8, they have some supers, some mascots here and there, and I think they are a bit in each other's way, I would feel. Because both have the Malphite too, so I'm not sure if they can, if either one of them can freestart it if they want to. And because they're still like a relative low level, you can see they're in a bit troubled water, but we do have now quite a tough competition here going on. I'm not too sure how long that front line can still stay alive. The Yasuo is doing quite a lot of damage, is going straight into the back lane, gets rid of the Yasuo, and then there is only the Jax left, not gonna survive, and at least they stay alive for a bit longer.
So that is Potty Ball, number 3 just there, getting the victory. I will just try and keep everybody right with the players' names and numbers as we go.
Yes, I'll try not to switch around too much, I know it's pretty confusing. I do want to touch in on Davido, though, who is perilously close to elimination. The mascots have been rerolled, but as you guys point out, when they seemingly to be contestants they are, maybe Davido is just taking too long to get their comp online.
I think that's the case. It does look... I mean, the Nasus 3s just came out, but I don't think this is going to be enough in a lobby of this strength with this caliber of player. I don't think it's enough to dig them out of the troubled water they're in right now. Although I'm happy to eat my words.
No, yeah, absolutely. I always want to see a spectacular comeback, but I'm with you here. It seems unlikely. Well, we've got the potential for a Gangplank 3 coming in, but right now the Supers isn't even online for Davido. They're not at level 6 as of yet, so they will get that online now. That's a huge damage boost, but they've got no money left in the bank to go too much further than this.
No money left in the bank, no more board space, no more bench space, and they're now level 6, so the chances to find those 1 costs are now even lower than they were.
Yeah, and I think the problem here is there are not too much tanky items yet. All the items that they were trying to get were all then for the Yuumi, which I think is very fair. But the units you're gonna freestart most likely earlier in this case are your front lines. So, for example, the Nasus and the Malphite. Malphite has some tankiness, and they're gonna be surviving for now. But then again, they were going up against the player that's currently the lowest in this lobby. So, curious to see what will happen if they go up against someone that's a bit higher.
Yeah, that's Davido there getting the win against number 6, which is Refresh WoW. The two of them have been sitting at the bottom of the lobby for this game so far, sitting on 12 and 7 HP respectively. Again, going for similar comps, but is it going to be enough to pull it out? The Gangplank 3 coming in here, which again could potentially be huge, especially now that Supers is online for Davido here. Again, is it enough? It looks as though they could be placed against one of our streaking players, so really only time's going to tell if they can hang in there.
Alright, we're already at the stage of great peril. We do have the for Hannover 6, aka Refresh WoW. Probably what we'll do from the second game was we'll have a little list on screen for people to refer to. It looks, from what I'm being told, we would not be able to get the player names changed to their actual names during the course of the event, which is real unfortunate, but we'll just do the best with what we have. Hannover 6, though, in a major trouble, up against number 5, Brozilla.
Oh, let's see what's gonna be happening. The front line, actually on both sides, is crumbling, but we have one tanky Jax that is going up now against the Orgon and slowly getting into the back lane, and I'm not too sure if they can do anything against it. The Sivir is trying to... Ooh, actually, hold on. It might work out, or the Astral's gonna come in clutch. Oh, no, it's not quite gonna cut it. And they can stay alive for a bit longer.
So that's Refresh, Rao, and DeVito. Number 8 and number 6 are both struggling to stay alive, but winning both of them the last round.
Both of them getting a lot of strength here. With Refresh, wow, it looks like the strength is coming from getting that Urgot in last minute and 2-star in a couple of the units. And for Davido, it looks as if that 2-3 stars that he managed to pick up in Nasus and Gangplank have given him just enough strength to cling on. Is 7 HP gonna be enough? We will find out.
Alright, it's perhaps execution time. You're right. You know, for Davido number 8, they're so very close to getting up to a couple more 3 stars. Yuumi 2 off, Galio 2 off, and Malphite 2 off as well, up against number 3, Pardabol. But of course, Pardabol does not know the meaning of mercy.
Oh, I'm not too sure if the Yuumi can actually clutch this. The front line is simply too weak, and then we have the Zed. They're already level 8 as well, that amount of units. Oh, and they are gonna be going down. This is, yeah, very unfortunate for DeVito, but on the flip side, Refresh WoW is still alive as they managed to win it again.
So their closest potential prey is Brozilla, number 5 on 21 HP. Everyone else is, you know, really far ahead, including Pardabol, who is currently on a win streak, number 3.
Let's see what everyone is going to be picking up. People leaving the sword, not looking to go more offensive. There's actually not that many defensive items in that carousel. But yeah, we were looking at number 3 already. This has the Zed. They're level 8. And they're slowly working up to make the front line even better. They have that Yasuo with the Thieves' Gloves on. Perhaps it could be a unit... I mean, ideally you want to see if you can 2-star it, but all their econ is gone in order to go to level 8. But at least, you know, for now, this is a stable board, and then hopefully they can econ back up.
I think this is, you know, characteristic of this lobby. It's that people are having to put everything in. Because the players know they've only got 4 games. Last I heard, at least, we've been playing 4 games today. So it means that every single placement matters. There's very little room for error or for holding back nearly at all.
Oh, the Jax is actually doing surprisingly a lot of damage, but it's not a 3-star just yet, so the Zed is just gonna continue, and just look, he barely has been touched. Eventually a couple of other champions do go down, but they can manage to survive. Oh, and look at that, another Echo. I'm not sure if you want to be picking that up, because that is already a 2-star. Oh, and that's potential for a Sedge, too. It's even more tankiness up in that front line. And honestly, this is looking really solid. They have the Laser Core, but then also the 4 Duelist, which the Nyla, that's also 2 stars benefiting from. And then the Yasuo and the Fiora alongside with the Zed with all the items.
So of course, we are currently playing with our top 8 at the moment. We'll be playing for a top prize of 1,500 euros, second prize of 1,000. And decreasing from there until you get to 8. Of course, everyone will leave with some kind of prize, but it's a pretty major difference here at the first EMEA LAN. To be that first LAN champion, I think it's something that could potentially follow someone for their entire competitive career.
Yeah, before the games today, we asked a lot of the players what their biggest achievement in TFT was so far, and for a lot of these players, those are the LAN games that they have went to and won the tournaments for. So these LAN games really do hold a special place in our players' hearts. Plus, you want that bragging rights. This will be the first big LAN of the set, and you want to be coming out on top on that.
Oh, I forgot who number 3 was, but they just hit a Zed. Yeah, they just hit a Z2. Oh. That is insane. Sure, they don't have that much econ, but that is massive and maybe even enough to eventually get on top of the board as of right now.
So, Pardaball's most favored comp in the set so far has been that Hacker Zed. So this is a place of comfort that Pardaball is coming from. as much as Zed has been nerfed, if it's uncontested, I find it's still incredibly strong. And this is going to be a late game board to contend with for sure.
Also, looking at the player that is on top at the moment, that is Balotelli. They have this 6 brawler comp, not even technically with the... I mean, they still have the Blitzcrank in, and then made a Soraka a brawler too, so they get the admin, they get the heart bonus alongside of it, and they have a Janna. So everyone is around the Janna, who is actually granting everyone attack damage and AP in this game. So everyone is just going in with the damage. I think perhaps we have seen the Jax go down a couple of times, so ideally you would try and hope you can actually restore it, but they have gone up to level 8, so perhaps looking for the Soraka as well.
So Balotelli up against Brozilla right now. So yeah, both sides with the Soraka in, but unfortunately it looks like Brozilla is about to take a major loss here. They look like they're not quite in elimination zone, but down to 4. Of course, anyone who's coming in late, Brozilla, definitely one of our newer competitors, especially to this kind of level of competition to play on the LAN. Talking to him this morning, saying he would be very happy just to make top 4 in the event overall. Right now, he may not be able to make top 4 in this lobby.
Oh, absolutely. Brozilla is a relative newcomer to TFT, reaching Masters in set 5.5 and set 6. Other than that, the account is completely unranked. So to me, Brozilla is this unstoppable Hungarian force that's come out of absolute nowhere. And he said if he wins this tournament, he's going to celebrate by doing a 24-hour stream. And it's really beautiful to see a player come in with that level of enthusiasm and that level of modesty while still maintaining that level of competitive integrity. So it's, you know, this is someone that really has my heart today, is Brozilla.
Yes, and Brozilla's even given some of his own music to play on stream. So I think if Brozilla wins the lobby, we will play Brozilla's music to celebrate that fact. Right now, Brozilla will hold on single-digit HP as number 4, that's 2 beers, goes down to 11 HP themselves. Number 1, Sweller, takes a big hit, as does number 3, Padabol. So it's only, right now, Balotelli who is dominating the lobby.
Balotelli... Apologies.
Oh, no, that's okay. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say Balotelli has been in incredible shape in this tournament so far. Across day 1 and 2, they've had 5 wins total. So this is someone that is top in lobbies again and again and again. And it looks as if they might just pull that off again just now.
Alright, let's check back in with Brozilla and with 2 beers. Trying to see which one of them is going to survive the round. The 2 beers will be going up against number 3, who we again will have the list next time, which is Padabol. So we'll try and see the end of both these rounds if we can.
Oh, but the Zed is doing so much damage. And even though we have a very tanky Nunu that is 2-star, I am not sure if this is gonna cut it. Oh no! They go down to full place, but ooh, we also on the flip side, we still have the Soraka fighting for her to be alive. But again, the fellow flip side Soraka is just a tad bit stronger.
So there we have it, Brozilla falling just short of hitting a top 4. 2 beers will just sneak in there, but we are left with number 1, Sweller Tiger, number 2, Balotelli, and number 3, Padabol. It's almost as if they're trying to get in order for us.
Also, so Brozilla and 2 beers, they all both went out with minus 6 HP, but I think because... Yeah, but I think because we had 2 beers who stayed alive just a bit longer, that's how they clutched into full place.
Well, and we know, of course, you know, with the prizes going all the way down from 1st to 8th, they're all different prizes from each other. Being even 1 place further down will make a significant difference to the tournament. Alright, this will be Hannover 1 taking place here. So this is Sweller Tiger trying to battle for their survival. They're the only player who is currently in the peril of dying. But it looks like they might get away with this round up against the Ghost. On the other side, it is Balotelli versus Pardabol. Oh no, my apologies. I misread what was going on there. It's Sweller Tiger actually going out in third.
That was the Zed, again, that is doing a lot of damage in the hands of Pardabol. So with that, our top 2 for this first game has been predetermined. Now, we have Pardabol with a bit of econ left, but they're just staying most likely. If they're going to be taking a couple of losses, then they're going to roll down. But they have additional Zeds and even a Vayne. So maybe they're looking to go for level 9 and get the Vayne in question mark?
I mean, they certainly got the eco to do it. I think you're going to have to bring something really special here to dethrone Balotelli. He is just unstoppable. Even with the nerfs to the Zed, it doesn't matter. Balotelli doesn't care. He's still going to mow through your team.
I suppose the Shroud of Stillness is going to make at least some amount of difference when you've got a really clumped up team like that. But yeah, the raw power of Balotelli's comp, the Jax in particular, creeping his way through the very outside of the comp, carving his way into the formation of Pardabol. I don't think it's a question anymore as to who's going to win the lobby.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The Zed is doing a lot of work, so it's not like, you know, it's a very, very hard loss, but the Jax is just so hard to get through, and especially with the Janna buff, in this case, I don't even know if he needs the 3-star, and with all the other units being 2-star, especially now the Riven that has the Thieves Gloves on, and the Vi being very tanky up front, it's looking just unbreakable.
Let's see what items we have coming in for both our players here. Do you think that there's any item that could make the difference here for Pardabol?
I'm really hoping we see something that can... I don't think there's a possibility of really resisting the Jax long term, because we've seen he just scales up way too hard. I love for there to be for Pardabol to try and find a way to kill the Jax before he can scale.
Interesting. So we do have the Vayne is gonna get it instead of the Fiora, with the Rage Blade on, and is hoping for an Urgot, but I'm not sure. I don't think they will get it. They still have 2 items. They're gonna be slamming it also on the Vayne, which I think is the wisest option, but I'm not sure if this is quite gonna be making the difference.
I do like the attempts being made, though. We can see Vayne, like Jax, is going to be a scaling damage threat, and the Brawlers have got a lot of HP, but given enough time, Vayne should be able to chew through Jax, and time seems to be working out. The Jax is taking a lot of damage, and he falls!
Oh, yeah, well, the Jax does fall, but at the same time, all the other units are still alive, so it doesn't even matter, and they still take a very big hit, even bigger than the previous round. So... yeah, 84 against 10 HP.
Raid Boss Jax might be down, but I'm afraid the ads are so powerful also. This has been an absolute landslide game for Balotelli here.
You can see Pardabol number 3 really searching for that last line. That's just not going to happen. So, going to do a little bit more scooting around. I think not going to put the Echo in last second, so we are up to 6 duelists, so we will have the strongest Zed possible, and we will have the strongest Vayne possible.
Let's see, maybe the Vayne can buy some time, just like previous round. The Zed is actually also doing quite a lot of damage, but now going up against a Jax, so I'm not sure, yeah, the Zed is going to go down, and with that, most likely Pardabol as well. And we have our winner, ladies and gents, for the first game.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Balotelli, for an absolute dominating game there. That was really great to watch, and really what you want to see for game 1 of Dreamhack here in Hanover.
Alright guys, so we start off everything very quickly, but we probably take this chance to introduce ourselves before we go to break, which I believe will be a relatively short one. So, guys, of course, see... If anyone watching would like to see more MaizyMarizpan and Vearless games, you can absolutely do so. That's their Twitter link, well, Twitter profiles below their portraits right now. We will be going to a break. MZ, welcome to the stream as well. Lovely to see you here. So we're gonna, if everything goes according to plan, and plans oftentimes will not stay intact at LAN, we will be having 4 games. We're having a shortish break between games 1 and 2. We will try and sort out a little name display because we are stuck with just the players being called this number, this number, this number. So we'll try and have that down the side of the screen. There'll be a longer break after game number 2, but 4 games total. We'll be looking to be done by 4 CST because I believe that's when we're getting thrown off the stage. So we need to be out there one way or the other. But no, guys, I guess this is going to be a bit of a guess when it comes to the break times. But we'll go for around 5 minutes or so, and it may end up being a little bit longer than that, or we may come back early and just talk a bit about the previous game. Either way around it, please do grab yourself a drink, and we'll be back soon for round number 2. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's almost time for round number 2, and I think our first one was pretty heavily influenced by a very strong performance from Balotelli.
Absolutely, it's what we expected really after the strength and raw power that Balotelli showed in day 1 and 2. 5 wins over the course of the 2 days, so he's just added another one to his belt.
Yeah, he was playing a very strong comp. He threw in a couple of threats early on, then started to build upon it, had a Dex 2-star with a lot of items, and then the Janna buff with all the other units around it. It was super tanky and super hard to mow down, even for Sweater Tiger, who actually had the Z in. Oh no, sorry, no, that was Potable, excuse me. Yes. Who had the Z in, and he was trying to mow it down, did a good effort, but just came too short and got in 2nd place.
Alright guys, well let's get into game number 2. And let's see what we've got on the menu here. So as you mentioned, Balotelli came out of the initial stage of the competition with the lead. And has maintained that lead, winning the first game. Potable, though, was one of our players who was one of our 4 players who was tied with 55 points, between 5th and 8th. So for Potable to get 2nd is still a pretty good showing.
Oh, absolutely. I was speaking with the players beforehand, and we asked each of the players, if you didn't win, who do you think should? And everyone was overwhelmingly either for Balotelli or Potable, so even the players know that these are the players to watch out for. Also, for anyone watching at home, maybe you've just tuned in, our players do not have their usual names, so we've created a player key for you in the bottom left of your screen, just to help figure out who's who, but we'll keep you right along the way also.
So, Potable, number 3, already has a Renekton 2, and an Ashe alongside of it, picks up another champion. Okay, maybe not the best. Oh, that's another oh, my lord. Well, that might turn into... Oh, no, never mind. Actually sells a unit. Not quite wanting to go for more Renektons, but additionally just trying to go for a wild or a wide pool of champions and then see later on where you can pivot into. I think that is very strong because, if you get that many champions for now, actually is really solid. Has the Ezreal augments, so that means that the nearest ally gets an artifact. So in this case, that will be the 2-star Wukong.
And I'd like to take some credit for this myself. One of the very few games I played in the first stage of the time, one of the very few games where I did well, I was using this augment because it's ridiculously strong. 1 extra gold per round and a generally applicable free item. It's incredible, especially when you don't have to then run necessarily anything more than just a 1-star Ezreal. You got the Randomins coming in there, there can be so many more items as well, and the economic value is off the charts.
Oh yeah, this augment is strong in itself without adding that 1 extra gold, but it is a beautiful cherry on top of a little eco cake right there.
Yeah, and because of that Wukong being 2-starred, having an item right on top of it, which is the armor magic resistance one, yeah, it's so tanky, so buff, and there is nothing that Potable can do against it.
So, a strong start for them. Let's go and see who has not had a strong start. So that will be number 7. We've got a little key down in the corner there. So Kevin Parker. He's going to bring out our friends, the mascots again. Got themselves a decent amount of mascots early on. We did talk, of course, in the previous game about how the mascots, thrive at 3-star. And, of course, a lot less successful when people are contesting the comp.
Yeah, it would be super interesting to see if anybody else is building this mascot comp right now, just because we know that a lot of our players do favor this comp, and it's incredibly strong right now. Probably an S-tier comp if you can get it uncontested and you get your perfect Yumi items. But we did not see that in Game 1. We saw 2 separate players fight for 7th and 8th place, contesting each other on the mascot comp. So hopefully this game we can see it shine a little more.
I don't actively see a lot of people going for it. There are some people spread out with a couple of Nasus's here or there, or a Galio, but I don't think anyone is actively going for a re-roll. But I don't think any of them have also hit a 2-star when it comes to the mascots yet. So I think everyone's a bit doubtful as to if they want to go for it.
Yeah, I suppose after that first game, I would probably be pretty hesitant myself.
Yeah.
But Kevin Parker with the Nasus augment means that this might, at least until mid game, be something that he finds himself having to commit to.
All right, let's keep scooting around and checking out what everyone else is up to. I suppose we can do a quick review of the entire lobby as a whole. So we've got number 2, Balotelli up here with a Spell Slinger setup. We know that Spell Slinger and Taliyah setups were very, very popular in day number 1. You know, typing out the winning comps for each game. Spell Slingers were showing up in a surprisingly large amount of them. Very, very reliable composition.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. I just wanted to say real quick that the item this time around was slimed on a LeBlanc, and it was just firing so hard. Got extra mana from that item. So yeah, currently 100 health, stable.
All right. Well, I suppose we can. As we get our items coming in for our players, we can do a quick, very sort of broad overview. So we've got the Spell Slingers from Balotelli. On number 4, 2 Beers, they've gone for Defenders and Brawlers. Duelists from number 8, DeVito. Number 5, Zilla, it's gone for early Brawlers. Refresh, Brawlers as well. But we do have Paddleball, who's managed to find their way into the Underground.
Ooh, I love an underground start. All these eco traits in TFT always get me super hyped. And I just, I love seeing people go underground and sticking with it a little while, seeing if we're going to cash out. Not seeing too much of that in this tournament so far, so my fingers are crossed that this is the game we go heisting.
Yeah, this is really a great opening. We were talking about it earlier, how late game underground, you might just wanna ditch it eventually and upgrade your units to stronger ones. But early it's really nice to build up some econ, and especially if you can even wing streak alongside of it. It's just a nice bonus to have.
Oh, absolutely. The underground units tend to find themselves just that little bit weaker because you know that in the background you're passively collecting all of the spoils from your heist. So, yeah, this is not something you will see super late game, but the longer you hold on, the better the prizes, and I just love heisting.
I think as well, it has such a an effect on the game, because if you know that Paddleball is running the Underground, and you don't kind of stamp on the accelerator with the game and make sure that Paddleball pays the price of playing these weaker units, then Paddleball's got this guarantee later on they'll just have more stuff than you will.
I mean, more stuff, more good. You can do so much more with the extra items and gold. I mean, even cashing out at level 1, you can find yourself with sort of like an extra 18 to 23-ish gold. Like, it can be a huge boost in Temple. I love Underground. I don't know, maybe I'm biased.
Well, I mean, it's working pretty darn well. Balotelli, number 2, coming here trying to challenge Paddleball's current setup. We can see, even with the Death's Defiance going on to Sona and kind of not really doing a whole lot during the round, Paddleball's comp is still strong enough that even if it can't get a win, the losses it's taking are very soft indeed.
Also, I just want to highlight real quick that Suela Tiger at the moment is almost at the bottom, trying to go, I guess, for... I don't know, switching a bit between possibly Mascot, also has Spell Slinger with the Annie in the front line, but the front line is so, I mean, it's so very weak as of right now. Probably the Galio will be moved into the front later on. But with the Annie 2-star, not really there being any sort of tanky items apart from the belt now. Might not be too ideal. Hopefully they can pick something else up. That is a glove, maybe not the most ideal one. Of course, we do have the new item. That is the Guard Breaker, which actually gives you extra AP and AD alongside a shield.
Oh, the bonus damage when you're hitting the shields.
Oh yeah, sorry, yes. So it still works. Oh, it still works in your front line. But with that, an Echo, that is Star Guardian activated, and throw the Fleece Gloves on there. So, oh, hold on a sec. What are we going to be doing? They have the Chalice of Power, so you ideally want to move your other AP units right around it. And they do exactly so into the right corner.
I do like the Galio being put in here to get that extra bit of shielding, because right now, this is our 2-star front line for Sweller Tiger. Now they go against number 4, 2 Beers, heading from Germany, and it looks like we are seeing a somewhat familiar part of a Tier Beers composition, that Lulu, though not with the mascot front line that she's been so commonly played by Beers.
I think mascot's going to be a bit of a deterrent this game. It just seems like so many people want to go it, so maybe he's looking to adapt here and maybe build something else of a front line, perhaps some brawlers or defenders.
Do have a second augment coming in. It will be down there with the Greys as number 7. So that is going to be our friend Kevin Parker. Exactly said, maybe Vearless, the mascots, they are contested, and we've had our first 3-star mascot land. It will be the Big Chicken, 3-star Galio.
The Big Chicken. Already, I mean, the Nasus is also on the way to 3-star. They only need 2 more. The Econ maybe not in the best place of all, but in this case, you just want to be hitting your units as soon as you can. I think, I'm not sure if it was Kevin Parker, but previously we did have someone that was really struggling to keep their HP up. I was forced to then go to level 6, so that means you only have 25% left to hit the 1 cost. And yeah, eventually that kind of, well, yeah, quite literally cost him.
We do check in with Potterball again, who this time round has actually got a very good rating item for their recons on the backline. The Gold Collector for Ashe will pair up really well to try and keep Potterball's, current descent into madness from going too far out of control. While Potterball is on a full loss streak, I believe, number 7, Kevin Parker, has just broken their own loss streak, so we might be seeing a flip of places on the table for them.
Yeah, at this point, we're going to have to see Kevin now just win streak and keep going from strength to strength. I think the gold went kind of low there just because they were wanting to roll whilst they were still level 4 just to hit that Galio 3, which they've managed to do. But now we just need to keep hitting and hitting. In the previous game, we didn't see any 3-stars until the players playing mascot were, already so low on health. But Kevin might just have just enough HP here to be able to bring back something really good.
It's going to be tight. We'll see who their next opponent's going to be. Suddenly that front line is pretty strong. We've got, of course, the Battle Mage augment, meaning they've got a bunch of extra armor and AP to work with. It won't necessarily help them, though, when the main damage coming back is AP instead from Balotelli.
Oh, the LeBlanc, it's doing a lot in this case. Even though, I mean, the Galio, look at how tanky it is, even with just a single cloak upon him. But he soon is about to be the only unit alive, and in this case, I think they need a little bit more damage in order to really deal with their opponents. Because a strong front line is nice to have in order to survive longer, but then you also need to be able to take or make sure you land a couple of hits yourself.
Oh, an interesting thing to note is Davido. He was 8th in our first game, but currently sitting on a crazy win streak with 98 HP. What is it we've got building on Davido just now?
Let's go and take a look. Well, we'll be able to drop in a second, but we can at least see what traits they're running. So, Sure Shot and Ace, that says to me we might be seeing a Samira board being put together. And we did see, I believe, from Refresh WoW in particular, they were running Samira all day yesterday, and they managed to make into the top 8 with only getting first a single time. So,
oh, sorry, my bad. I thought that was a Talia too. I got really excited there. That will just be a Nyla 2 coming in there for Davido.
Almost though. So this is a really solid comp. I think as the day went on, more and more people started playing Samira, seeing how strong she was performing.
Oh, Samira is wonderful, but she is incredibly item dependent, and with only the 1 glove on Samira right now, and Samira requiring so many glove items, they might just fall short. They'll need to keep their strength up if they want to keep this win streak.
Let's see how the Samira can level up. I mean, the front line is pretty strong, but then again, they also, on the flip side, it is Refresh. Yeah, Refresh WoW, who has the Ashe 2-star, but in this case, the Nyla, is doing a lot alongside the Samira.
So yeah, that means that DeVito will keep their win streak going. They're in a lobby, DeVito and Refresh WoW, they're in a lobby with some of the very best players we've got in the EMEA region. So to be able to even pull off a streak like this is impressive in itself. That's the bottom of the table, though. Kevin Parker, we saw from before, is still fishing, I think, for that completed Nasus. But unfortunately, Nasus is nowhere to be found. Only up to, 7 so far, 2 more required. But just doesn't seem to be happening for Kevin Parker.
Yeah, it does look like they've been rolling with the eco at 40 there. Unfortunately, that win that they got that ended their loss streak didn't hang about, and now it looks as if he's leaning more towards the loss streak again. And unfortunately, like, having this little HP compared to the rest of the lobby with a tangent with a trajectory like that is just not ideal, unfortunately. Kevin really needs to see this Yumi too if he's wanting to find some strength right now, but it just looks like he's not hitting.
Well, this round at least will be fine. The Yumi's still doing enough damage and the Galio surviving and also slowing down their opponent's attack speed with, of course, the sparks that's upon him. So they can survive for now. They have the wolves coming up, so that means more items and hopefully make your front line and your Yumi stronger. And then we have to pray that they can hit either the Gangplank or the Nasus. Or even just a Malphite too.
Oh, and shouts out to our CSGO friends in the chat here to see popular CSGO caster Vearless taking part in today's TFT stream. So shout out to our CSGO friends. Love to see you along.
I'm sorry, guys. I have walked to the dark side.
Well, for Kevin Parker, they managed to lock themselves into a much brighter future. She managed to hit. They've got the supers in now. A 3-star Nasus is here alongside the 3-star Chicken. And I believe as well a 3-star Malphite, unless I miss my guess. It's kind of hard to tell. He's already so glowing in gold. But this is a very strong board and maybe a way back into the game for Kevin.
That's it for sure. The Yumi 2, the Supers Online, the big doggo, and the big chicken. This is an exciting board. This is kind of what mascot players want to dream about. So I'm really, really happy to see him hitting, especially after this comp was so hotly contested in Game 1. I really think that if Kevin continues at this rate, we are going to see something real special for mascot here.
So I don't know what you guys' kind of general opinion is in terms of, are you more in favor of players who play consistently well, or are you more in favor of players who, like Kevin Parker is doing here, who are riding the edge of the knife and trying to go for the biggest risk, but also the biggest reward?
Ooh. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it kind of depends, right? Because the game is so randomized in itself as well. So sometimes you can't quite predict which way your game is going to be going. If you get a certain augment, you might as well, lean into it, make the best benefit. That's probably the way to go. Because sometimes you can try to have like, this comp works well for me, and I'm gonna try to lean in towards it. But sometimes the game is not quite giving you what you want.
This is true. I think with these high risk, high reward comps, myself personally in a tournament setting, I always go for the high risk, high reward comps, and I'm very much a 1st or 8th player anyway. But Kevin is someone that I spoke to before the game, and he prides himself in being a flexible player. So perhaps this is all part of his plan. He's a very strategic, very calm-headed player, and maybe this isn't even a risk at all to him. Maybe he's just like, nah, I know what I'm doing.
Maybe it is a risk now, though. That was a hell of a loss.
The lower the HP, the hotter the fire under one's bottom.
Oh, I see. It's a Mr. 5 HP approach to the game.
Oh, yeah, 1 HP in a dream. You only need 1 HP to take the win in a game.
Don't forget the dream, though. You must have the dream as well as 1 HP.
You must have the dream, of course, counterfeit.
speaking of dreams, we've got ourselves several players who are dreaming big this game. Number 3, that is Putterball, who came in second last time round. Also, note the scores are in the chat if you want to check up on the current scores. We'll maybe see if we can get them on screen for a future round. Right now, Putterball is here and now doing really well with the Ezreal set up from early on. They're getting the influx of money. They're getting that free item to... let's see, it's going to be Death Defiance. So this Vayne is going to be pumping out a ton of damage and be very hard to put down.
Oh, this is kind of gorgeous, though.
There we go.
Ooh, there we go.
And most excitingly here, Putterball is still in the underground. I'm not sure what level of underground we've got right now. I don't know if you're able to check that.
We'll be able to, I think we should be able to see their underground cash out coming out, so we can make a educated guess as to
I think if you hover the underground trait, it should tell you what level it's on. Yep, current heist level 1. Oh, that can't be right.
No, that's definitely not right.
That is.
So
strange.
the spectator mode is not always going to tell us the right things, because I think it's a kind of like, especially if it's something new like Underground, it may not have just been programmed into the spectator. So yep. But what we can do is I'm going to pull up. I think there's a list somewhere. I don't know if it's on Tactics or Tools yet, of what the Underground payouts look like, so we can just sort of tell by what kind of thing it is where they are in the heist. Or sorry, did we drift off of number 3?
Number 3, Putterball.
Oh yes,
Why
sorry.
is there no?
So they must.
Did they continue?
They must have continued it, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I will do my best to see if I can uncover the underground loot table.
They're on the way to 3-star Vayne, by the way. Having another 2-star on their bench right now. The econ not too optimal, maybe, but slowly, if you can build it up and eventually hit it, it's gonna be so strong.
Oh yeah, they're thundering towards that Vayne 3, wasting no time at all. Still got the Ezreal 1 on the board, but hey, he seems to just be there for that augment to put the artifact on the nearest champion.
Yeah, Putterball continuing to look very, very good here. Of course, representing France, one of the very long-time players. But we're going to need to start paying some more attention towards the bottom of the table. Two Beers is in some major trouble, down to barely above double digits, with Kevin Parker just above them as well. There's a lot of climbing for both of these players if they want to finish out this second game strong.
See, Two Beers currently sitting in 4th on our table, so sort of middle of the pack right now. They'll be looking to hang on as long as possible here.
Of course, remember, our pricing is going all the way down from 8th to 1st, so everyone's getting some kind of prize, but they'll be getting much, much larger prizes if they're able to hold on. Currently, the 4th place prize would be like 550 euros. The 1st place and 2nd place have got 2,500 euros between just those 2 places themselves.
Yep, and that'll be 1,500 euro to the winner. That is no small sum of money, especially this time of year. That will be incredible for whoever gets to take that home today.
Two Beers is in parallel. I think they are dead. They will be down to -4, so that puts them out and into a major perilous situation as the tournament continues. We have still got our special friend Kevin Parker with us, special mascots, holding on for dear life as Brozilla, number 5, starts to slip down the table themselves, closely followed by Refresh.
It's gonna be... Oh.
How do you go, Vearless?
I was about to say, it's gonna be so crucial for him to hit that Yuumi. I mean, obviously he's in level 6, so this is the territory to go hit that champion. Goes for more tankiness up in the front, because actually that is still where the items seem to be lacking. Still only the sparks upon the Galio, so now we have the Bramble Vest alongside the Warmock's armor, so most likely, let's see, they're gonna be hitting them onto the Galio or just trying to spread it out a bit more. First, hoping to hit more Yuumis, also on the way for that Malphite there it is. Who are you gonna sell though? Or are they actually gonna take one more loss?
Oh, it's so
And
risky.
oh, it's very risky. I probably would have sold maybe the Lee just for now, but I don't know.
Oh
It's
no.
very tricky.
This is so cursed. This is the sort of thing that Mort Dog sits at home and rubs his hands over when he sees there's just one gold off and one off all his champs with such little HP remaining. Hopefully, we can see him cling on this match because I really want to
Oh
see this
yes.
mascot do great things.
It looks like it. That was actually a very good victory. So with that, Malphite coming in and still only one off of the other two.
That's it, calculated Kevin. He knows what he's up to, I'm telling you.
No, I'm absolutely completely with you here, Maizy, in saying that Kevin took the big risk here that they could have just lost as of that round.
Oh!
So it's there's a Yumi coming in. It paid off. It was all part of the plan. Kevin is playing to end out this lobby in at least the top 4. He's not settling for even the chance of finishing lower.
This is insane. So now we got into scary territory. Even though he's on low HP, this could still come in clutch till the very end. Especially, I've seen this comp, for example, if you eventually, I mean, obviously you need to level first, blah, 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 but eventually, if you can actually manage to stabilize and go to a higher level, get a Janna, buff all of the other units, it's gonna be so tough. Oh, but already actually taking quite a hit, but luckily they can heal up a bit as well, so this is looking to get better and better as time goes on. But now it's gonna be Galio having to tank it out in order for the Yumi to actually continue to strike. I think it will be enough, but there will be another ult coming through for the Misfortune, missing Yumi, and they can stay alive another round.
That Galio taking the full brunt of the bullet time directly to the face. You can see other people in the lobby, I think, almost in spite of themselves, cheering on Kevin Parker's comeback attempt. But there are now other players who are starting to suffer as number 2 Balotelli picks themselves up a 3-star Vel'Koz. I'm trying to remember which screen I'm on. They're looking pretty darn scary, but down the bottom, Refresh WoW is almost dead as well. We are in perilous territory indeed.
Oh my goodness. Balotelli woke up this morning with his game hat on. Whipping out a Vel'Koz 3 this early is absolute madness.
So I think we're checking right now with the ghost of our friend Kevin Parker, but not the real deal. So if Hannover 6, aka Refresh, can win here, no, well, never mind. They'll fall victim to the ghost instead, and it's now we're moving further up the table as we're down to our top 6.
Actually, for a second, really curious at Swella Tiger, who is number 1. Oh, well, we have to wait for the carousel to go out first. But after that, because he's still somewhere in the middle. Actually, this game feels a lot closer. We do now have Potable at the top, who has a bit more HP, but the rest is still pretty undecided. But earlier on, Swiller Tiger actually was playing the a bit more of a Yumi carry as well, which I guess he probably gave up on by now, considering there is a Yumi. And let's see what he went for right now. I see a Zoe instead, alongside the Gadgettine, the Prankster. I mean, everything is just a little bit of everything.
Let's quickly pop down just to check on Brozilla, who has got himself up to 9 laser core. This is terrifying. So every time one of the laser core units dies, they'll give across their 2 drones to the nearest ally. This can build towards an absolutely ludicrous endgame units, or maybe potentially a couple of different ludicrous endgame units.
Oh, this is one heck of a vertical to have gone for. I love when people go 9 verticals in tournaments. It's so hard to attain, but generally pays off. In this case, though, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Oh, no. Everyone is going down. That Malphite is just I take it all back! I take it all back! 9 drones OP.
Just want to check, that's a 7 HP Ashe who finished the job off there.
Oh my lord.
And we've just lost Davido there. Davido out on minus 5 HP in that last round. Not sure who they were fighting.
No, but we were in another elimination situation. So Kevin Parker on 7. Brozilla, number 5, on 2 HP. Everybody else on 20 HP or more. So these are our two focused players. Who should we lead into the round with?
I mean, personally, I'm quite interested to see Balotelli at the moment because he has switched. He of course had that Ezreal augment at the beginning, and he still has the Ezreal in, but he has now the Misfortune alongside the 38s and then threats all across the board.
Yeah, currently playing against Paderball, who are both doing pretty reasonably well. We'll check back within a second. Just want to find out if anyone's dying here. It will be. Kevin Parker is gone. Brozilla is gone as well, but Brozilla goes down by just 3 more HP, which means they're back into 5th again.
Oh, calculated King Kevin has been dethroned there. I was really rooting for him. That's sad to see, but nice to see that they've eked out just above Brozilla. That is so tight.
It's so...
I would... Oh.
Please.
I just want to ask you guys' opinion, because this is now the second game that Balotelli has leaned into the threats. Last time around, they worked around the Jax and they had a Janna. Now they work around it with that Ezreal, of course, that gives the buff with the item, and then a Misfortune. I mean, is this the way to go, perhaps, in these types of tournaments, knowing that most likely people are not going to be leading into threats?
I really like it. From what we've seen, though, it doesn't sound like it's always the right answer, but I think you've got the reliability with the threats there, that you don't necessarily have to have the threat augment that gives them a bunch of HP for playing a threat board, but you always know what you're getting, especially if you're re-rolling at level 7 for 3 costs. You're going to pick up a lot of threats along the way. You've got a Cho'Gath, you've got the Rammus. You've got a lot you can put in and reliably say, this will be always be a really solid front line.
And one thing to note as well, that in the Chinese Challenger meta right now, even post-Zoe nerf, you're seeing a lot of Monster Zoe, which is just Zoe and all threats. So it is quite meta in China, so it's quite interesting to see similar comps being brought out, a similar mindset even by Balotelli here. It's incredibly strong, and it's gaining a lot of popularity in high elo places, so I'm glad we get to see a leaning towards the threats.
Now they are going up against one hell of a Zoe tank at the moment, and it's just the Vel'Koz left alive, can't quite cut it, and again, we are losing Balotelli in this time around. Got 8th previous, so definitely a lot of got first, but 8 points previous, so maybe not as good, but very, very consistent still, within the top 3 now for him, so again, good points for him.
I think Sweller Tiger is maybe a player we haven't been talking about as much as we should be, though. The Sweller hit 3rd in the previous game, now they're guaranteed top 2. If they hit a 1st here, they'll actually be equaling Balotelli's performance.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sweller is actually our 2nd seed of the day as well from this weekend. So this is a player with some incredible strength. This is a countrymate of Balotelli's as well. These two people do know each other. I've seen them out for drinks in the Instagram stories over the weekend. Like, these are fierce competitors and fierce friends.
Oh, but as we say, though, the Annie is very tanky, but maybe not tanky enough. We have the Vayne 3-star that is gonna be putting an end to that dream. Oh, well, it's not quite gonna cut it, but maybe next time around.
Still, though, I think Sweller Tiger, while they couldn't get the win there, getting a 2nd place to go with their 3rd place is still incredibly impressive. But part of the ball, all recognition to them. We spotted them from the very beginning of the game, bringing out the undergrounds and showing off, what the potential could be. You put together this, the underground run. You have this very late, the late game coming together, and you're always going to cap out higher than nearly anybody else can do.
Yeah, this is just so strong. Again, with the threats coming through. Misfortune, I think, is also a very good unit. It has been a little bit hit or miss. So we see a lot of people maybe leaning more in towards like the Zed or Talia for late game when it comes to the forecast. But Still no misfortune once she hits her ult, and if there is enough front line for her to keep on ulting, it's very strong.
Alright guys, so as we mentioned before, we will be taking a little bit of a longer break, though plans do always change. The fact that we're on LAN means we can never guarantee anything.
Anything can happen in a LAN.
Yeah, oh boy. So it's quite possible they might be like, oh no, we're behind schedule, so we need to now push up the next game. But I suspect we'll at least get a few minutes worth of break before we come back in. Just a quick reminder, so as of, I don't know if we've got the overall standings kind of fully figured out as of yet, but so Balotelli with the first and the third, Swiller Tiger with the third and the second, and Pardabol, who, yeah, must be in the lead right now, getting second in the previous game, now first off of that last game. We said there's a ton of money on the line for our players, so please stick around. We'll be back in, we'll say, laughably 5 minutes time. But
Optimistically.
it could be quite a lot longer than that. We told it's a longer break, but time is not our friend here when we're on the Dreamhack main stage, so we might be pushing ahead a little bit faster. Either way around it, stay tuned, and we'll be back with game 3 of 4 just after this break. All right, everybody, and welcome back. We are now in the second half of the Dreamhack TFT LAN finals. We've got ourselves some pretty dominant players, and we've got some players who need to make up a lot of ground. Vearless, of course, we know in the last game, Paderball managed to take that first place finish. Where are they in the overall standings?
I mean, overall, they're doing really, really good. Currently, number one, having one second place finish, one first place finish after that last one. Balotelli is 1 point off. He had, of course, a first place finish in the first game, and then third when he was trying to do a somewhat similar strat with all the frats. But that means he lands himself 14 points, and Sweller Tiger comes in third with 13. So I think the top three is, well, maybe somewhat predetermined, but the order can still change. And then in fourth, we have eighth for Brozilla. Kevin Parker also with 8 points, Tobias with 6, and DeVito and Refreshwell both with 4 at the bottom at the moment.
So let's go and check in with a friend of Paderball, number 3, aka. We did see last time around they managed to get into the underground very early on and have that late game inevitability. This time they are holding onto a Kale, but otherwise it's looking like it will be a different path for Paderball. We have got a very early Riven coming in to make a solid brawler frontline. We haven't seen necessarily a ton of Anima squad being played. I think people are generally not so high on that little bit of extra damage and eventually scaling health.
Oh, they also got in. Ooh, they have a potential for Yasuo. See, they had the Senna already up on their board from an orb. They have an Ashe on their bench, and now they are contemplating. Do I want to get the Yasuo? He has done 66% Omnivamp, which is really nice to keep in. Or you can go for a Fiora. Oh, which one did he pick? Oh, it looks like there we go. It is the Yasuo. So perhaps gonna try and lean in towards the Duelist or the Laser Corp side.
Yeah, I mean this is a huge commit in very early on. We know that a lot of players tend to prefer taking the support augment versions of the, if they do get the hero augment straight away, because you've at least got some flexibility as to where you go. But if Paderball doesn't build around this Yasuo for the rest of the game, they basically got no hero augment.
So far, so good. Doing a lot of damage, especially with Yasuo already having an item on it. So far, this looks very solid. A nice early stable board to have.
Now, for anyone just joining us at the start of our Game 3 here, I just want to let everybody know that the players' names aren't being displayed above their head, but we do have a key in the bottom left of your screen, and we'll keep you right in the casting as well. So right now, we're spec'd on 3, which is Paderball.
Yes. I'll do my best to bring the scores on screen. Thank you for getting that sorted out, Maizy, in between times. But I suppose, yes, we should spend a little bit of time scooting around our top 3 then. So, Sweller Tiger, who is aka number 1. Let's see what they've got for them, if they've gone for anything quite as aggressive. See, they've gone for a much more conservative choice, and they actually will be the ones to pick up Underground this time.
We love an underground start. That's now all 3 games where we've had one of our competitors ride the underground house train for just a little while. Sweller, not one of them so far. So they're really looking to get a piece of this heist pie as well. And with that Vi 2 so early and so strong, that's a nice front line for them right there.
Yeah, so that's 250. No, I believe actually, we can actually check ourselves. That's right. It was 250 health. Now it's 200 across the entire team. This is one of the most popular augments to bring through because, unlike the Yasuo or the carry augment the Paderball had, this is one of the most broad augments that's always going to be good for nearly any team.
Yeah, and the thing about just having a Vi in general, it's a really great frontline unit to have. In a lot of cases early on, a lot of people do switch to Sejuani if they decide to go for a brawler, because if you can then 2-star that one, might be stronger than a Vi, but early it's great, and especially with the combination of Underground and that being activated, this is looking very solid. The front line is borderline unbeatable right now.
We've had all of our top 3 players against each other, so we've now got up against Balotelli, who is currently our second place overall behind Partabol, with a pretty solid setup of their own, though it's not quite as beefy as number 1 Sweller Tiger, who came in today a very, very, very mild-mannered fellow, with no great expectations for himself, but is absolutely performing fantastically here in Lobby 3.
A mild-mannered fellow with one beast of a Vi. That extra health for the team, like yous have both said, is absolutely beautiful. And Sweller Tiger has actually told me that he will win this tournament because he is the king of Crostatine. I don't know what this means. If this is an in-joke with the viewers and you happen to be a viewer, please let us know. This is not something I understand. But Sweller Tiger wanted to prove himself to be a king, and right now he is doing just that.
Yeah, so far so good.
Well, Kevin Parker, one of the players who we talked about sort of the middling points of the players. Kevin Parker and DeVito both down on, I believe, 4 points apiece. That is really rough start for them. Potentially actually already locking them out of challenging for the title here at the Dreamhack MEA finals. But they can still improve their position and end up with much more substantial prizes than if they do come 8th.
That's true. It's all to play for. The prize pool today here is really generous, and it's all to play for these players. Even just eking out 1 place higher could be the difference of just bagging something even better to bring home.
Also, just want to bring up, hold on, who is it again? I think Brozilla, who is looking to actually go potential Laser Corp again. He is free already, with then additionally the very tanky Renekton, who is looking perhaps to see if he can mow down the front line. He's going up against another 2-star Renekton, but just having the Ezreal right behind him with additional mana, just having that little extra bit to actually win over that fight.
I mean, we did see it was a little bit disappointing to end up in a position where you've got you've managed to hit the entirety of your vertical, but you still end up not being able to pull out the game. I think that's maybe a dire warning to people going forward that we haven't been seeing that laser core be a chase trait so far, and maybe it just isn't the right path unless you have an even more ludicrous endgame in mind.
Yeah, in terms of strong verticals in this game, you're looking at your Star Guardian, 9 Star Guardian, you're looking at 8 Brawler. I don't think 9 Laser Core is really up there, especially since it was unfortunate that last game the turrets were almost always finding themselves on that 1-star Ashe, and it just wasn't enough.
So who have we got here? This will be Balotelli, who is currently doing pretty decently. Towards the bottom of the table, and we'll take another dip further down. But coming out of stage 2, absolutely nobody makes it through unscathed. Everybody's taken a loss so far.
Yeah, this is a far more even lobby than the ones we've seen so far. Generally, there's been a very clear divide between the top 4 and the bottom 4. But right now, everyone is, everyone's taking a little dink.
As we mentioned before, Kevin Parker on 4 points overall. It's currently the lowest on the scoreboard. That's number 7. We're checking again and see what they're up to. So it looks like they're actually going to try and take a leaf out of 2Beard's book and go for the Lulu mascot combination.
It is actually pretty interesting because I've been scouting around the entire lobby a little bit, and I spotted 3 people going for some sort of variation with mascots in the front line. I see, hold on a second, who is this? DeVito has a Yuumi augment, but someone else had a Malphite augment, so therefore people are hoping then to lean into the Super's mascot Yuumi type of territory. But if 3 people are going to be doing it at the same time, it's going to get tough, though I do see right now that it is, in fact, DeVito. He hit a 2-star Yuumi alongside a 3-star Galio, a 2-star Malphite, 2-star Nasus, with a potential for a 3-star Nasus as well. So I think maybe DeVito is gonna come up top.
Maizy, I'm going to show you 3 pictures. I'd like you to tell me the difference between them.
Okay.
Here's the first picture. Here's the second picture. Here's the third picture.
HR wanted me to find the difference between these pictures, but they're the same picture.
What does that picture spell to you, or to you guys, that we're going to be having 3 different players running mascots today?
Oh, not the mascot comp. So many players want to run it. It is incredibly strong when uncontested. Unfortunately, every single game we've had at least 2 players going for the same mascot comp, and they just cannibalize each other. And we've not seen it come out on top yet. And honestly, this game, I don't see it happening either.
And see, for poor old Kevin Parker, number 7, we will be getting at least a couple of relevant orbits coming in, but they are going to be silvered. I kind of think that for all these mascot players, they would maybe hope for a more impactful augment just to try and break the difference between the two of them and force some of these other players away from playing the same comp.
Ooh, Kevin leveling up here to level 6, meaning that they're not going to find... It's going to be a lot harder for them to find, rather, their Nasus and their Galio 3. Like, this is going to be a real tough ride. It could just be that Kevin's realized that perhaps Mascot isn't the way forward, like he played last game and this game, and is looking to pivot. Especially with these items. These don't speak to me as Yumi items at all.
No, at least we've got the Sivir, and the combination with the Galio. We've got, the civilian going off, but... Right, I'm very puzzled as to where we're going to be seeing this going a longer time. Up against Brozilla, we see some Brozilla fans in the chat. Brozilla definitely looking to fight their way back up the table on 8 points right now. As you both mentioned before, we've got this real pack, 3 players up the top. Swella, Tiger, Balotelli, Paderball, all in the teens. Everybody else is below 10 points, so there's an enormous amount of mobility in the lower part of the table.
It's so tough though, going up against the Laser Corp, having all the items up on the Ezreal, so Ezreal even gets a couple of drones himself as well. And even if you have the 3 supers, ideally you want a bit more offense, I would say. Now the Sivir is at least 2-starred, but yeah, this probably will be a temporary unit.
Yeah, the 2-star Sivir firing out those packed pizza punches.
Yes!
It's only gonna be so good for a short period of time. Again, I do think this is a transition. Into what yet? I'm not quite sure. Hopefully Kevin knows. I've been calling him Calculated Kevin. This boy knows the game, and this boy does enjoy taking risks. And I do think he's generally a very flexible player. And I think if anyone can pivot, Kevin can.
Well, we've got up against a pretty tough competitor in Swella Tiger, who has got a really interesting setup. So we noticed the vibe from before. It looks like the underground is still in full effect, but it will be running slower than usual because this like Tiger's running the kind of the win streak version, which still works for underground, but it does mean it's going to take longer to get those big payouts.
Yeah, that's for sure. His team's getting absolutely mowed down. Once that Redemption Vi gets taken down, unfortunately, the backline are just going to follow swiftly after. We're finding ourselves now on Carousel, though. Let's see where our players pick up.
I've got our friend the Spatula making the moves around. We can see not a high priority for either number 7, Kevin Parker, or number 2, Batelli. Interesting that Batelli, of course, doing incredibly well in the first 2 days of competition, and of course, with the 1st and 3rd place so far, has taken a pretty solid, whack of damage in the early going.
Oh, that is quite true. Balotelli has been fierce and mostly on top all weekend, and to see him sitting a bit lower is unlike him. Usually he is this punchy powerhouse that just keeps going and going and just gains strength over the game. I'm not too sure how well Balotelli plays when he is behind like this, but I'm sure he's going to give us all a masterclass.
We have got these spell slingers. We know that they are very strong, and we've seen them in so many setups. But it's an interesting combination here, Vearless. We've got as well the sure shots joining the spell slinger, so AP and AD in a single comp.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, at this case, most likely it is just trying to play your strongest board. We do see an Echo and a Nyla coming in, so most likely I would feel They're gonna lean more heavily in towards the Sona, perhaps, having the Yumi on the board as well for the Star Guardian. Oh no, the Echo for the Star Guardian, and then the Heart with the Yumi additionally. Um, so it's gonna be fun to see where they're gonna be pivoted. I think the Samira is just for now, just because it's a very strong unit in itself. But more so, I would assume temporarily.
I'm with you there. We've got the possibility with the Spellslinger Heart for number 2 Batelli, potentially to go all the way up to 6 Spellslingers. So that's a ton of extra AP to all of the Spellslingers, and even some of the units like we've got here, Lux, your 1-cost units, they're throwing out those Spellslinger autos with a decent amount of punch behind them, even if you don't itemize them at all.
Yeah, this one Sunfire caped Annie with 4 Spellslinger is gonna be quite a tanky force to be reckoned with. I think a couple more tank items, and that's gonna be one immovable front lane right there.
It will be up against Kevin Parker, though, who really needs to get some wins in.
Yeah, Kevin, for sure. That Annie has just lasted long enough that the backline is absolutely shredding the remains of Kevin's team there. It's just our Pizza Lady Sever and the Chicken Man remaining. Chicken Man goes down, and I'm afraid I'm lactose intolerant. No pizza for us here.
Yeah.
Kevin's taken a small loss there.
I think Balotelli prefers his pizza with maybe some ham instead of chicken.
Yeah, this is the problem, because I am not even sure if they're gonna be hitting anything right now. Because let me just double check who it was again. Hold on, because there was someone who, there we go. It is the Vito, who we were already worried about earlier as number 8. They have hit 3-star Nasus, 3-star Galio. And I'm not sure if other people that have mascots are going to be hitting anything else. It's very unfortunate, because that means that over at the bottom, the Galio is not quite going to come through. No real proper front lines, and therefore, you're going to continue to lose HP.
Oh, on the phone, we've got some news on the horizon. Headline news. In fact, as number 1 Sweller Tiger has hit 8 Brawler. That is the whole
my
beef.
That's our beefy front lane. We got that variation of Jax with the RFC as well. This boy will play back. He'll play incredibly safe. He's gonna do a ton of damage. I love RFC Jax, and he is gonna bring the thunder. Mark my words.
And the Jax so far is only just a 1-star, but it doesn't even matter with all of the rest already in place. Having the Sejuani pretty early on, and being level 7, this is one hell of a board to stabilize into. And there's even another Sedge up on the board. So once they hit the Sedge 2, the Jax 2, it's gonna be a massacre.
Yeah, I think Sweller Tiger is feeling super confident here. I mean, you look at the items on the bench. They could have easily used all of those items right now, for current board strength, but instead they are holding out. Makeshift armor with a lot of brawler HP would work really well. Nice.
Oh
edge.
no!
No, wait. Do we need more brawlers?
More brawlers? Why not?
Okay, denied.
Sweller Tiger with the Sweller board. This is incredible.
This is absolutely nuts. Yes, I'm not even sure how you can even beat this.
Yeah, since the mech nerf, it's not even worth playing Jax with the mechs necessarily anymore. Now if you can manage to get that 8 brawler, Jax just becomes this unstoppable damage machine. And he's being assembled.
Incredibly
this
strong.
Is the thing. Like, the Vi augment already gives the whole team 200 bonus health, but then with the brawler you get plus 111% max health, so everyone just automatically already, even just a 1-star, is pretty damn healthy and quite tanky in order to continue fighting. Now they are up against this 3-star Draven, who is in a somewhat similar territory, of course not going for the same type of Jax approach, but already the Draven, it is struggling, but it is also hanging on. for now. Oh, it's getting really close, but the Draven is winning.
And that will be, I believe, let's see, was that number 6? Oh, yes, Refresh WoW. So another player who's going into Supers, and they've got themselves, I believe it's probably, yes, the 3-star Draven.
Oh.
That damage is pretty incredible.
Oh, for sure. Sweller did just pick up his 3rd Jax there for a Jax 2. So perhaps that round would have played out slightly different with the strength of the Jax. But I'm sure we'll find out next time these Titans face each other.
This could be the end of the line for Kevin Parker, one of the lowest points players in the top 8 right now, up against the Tiger, who is looking to unleash that Jax 2 claws on all kinds of nonsense. They do have the double Giant Slayer for Sivir, so she is going to do very well against the Brawlers, but I don't know if she'll even still be enough.
The Jax is just eating through the front line. Nothing that even the Sivir can do. Of course, a good amount of damage landing, but simply it's not gonna be enough. And with that, at least for this game, we have to say goodbye to Kevin Parker.
The calculated king is down for now, but we'll see him again for game 4.
So we've got, of course, even more players to worry about now, as we've got a big separation between the remaining members of the bottom 4. That is Balotelli, who uncharacteristically down low on HP. We've also got Refresh Rao and Brozilla, who is the lowest currently, who is also, much like Sweller Tiger, going heavily into Brawler.
Brawler is insane. With the 8 Brawler, if you manage to get yourself a Brawler Spat, which of course one of our players has managed, you get an extra 111% bonus health on your units. That is insanity, especially having units like Riven in that they have just now with the Zeke's Herald on for more HP, because Riven's damage Riven does more damage to champions with less HP than her, and right now that's got to be a good chunk of the game.
I do like the setup that we've got from Brozilla. You know, they've got the Fiddlesticks right on the front line, so they're not relying at all on having that Fiddlesticks gather souls. Instead, they want Fiddlesticks to go off as soon as possible and be a massive disruptive presence, allowing Soraka time to do her damage.
Actually, this setup is pretty strong. You have the 6 Brawler in, the Fiddlesticks were just obviously just extra AD, but the Soraka, eventually, if you can manage to 3-star that, they are level 8 as of right now. That is insanely strong. Oh, there's one more.
It'll make a massive difference if they can actually get that main damage to the working. It's going alright for Brozilla so far. I think I did spot them a little earlier running the laser core, but given that they were the player who ran the full laser core comp and still didn't manage to make top 4 last time round, I'm not at all surprised to see a little bit of a change, even if we do have that one little laser core crest sneaking in at the side.
That's true. Well, I mean, it is enabling laser core. That little extra bit of damage can chip away, and it looks like Sejuani is going to remain a permanent component of this team anyway, so it's always nice to have. Here is our big Draven again. Now, this is a Draven that even the 8 Brawler board could not take down, so I think it's likely to make light work here if we don't get Fiddle popping off real soon.
Yeah, Draven, even by himself, is incredibly hard to deal with. We have got Gold Collector from Soraka, but the HP total isn't quite there. Another ult in for Fiddlesticks, and the Draven falls!
Oh
that
no!
Morello was huge. He could not get his heals up with a Bloodthirster. That was exactly what needed to happen there for that win to come out, and it has happened.
Wow. So as we take a look again at the field overall, currently in first place, DeVito, number 8, who is, unlike Kevin Parker, who has already been eliminated, on 4 points. So if DeVito can even keep up towards the top end of the table, they could make some significant ground on the other players in the tournament, moving further up towards the larger prizes in the top 8.
Now, I also am still surprised that we have DeVito and 2Beers going for still a very similar comp. Now, 2Beers is a lot more lower health, but he is technically closer to hitting the Yuumi 3-star than the Vito is at the moment. But the problem is he of course has the 3-star units and he has so much HP left in comparison to Dubers that I'm not sure if Dubers can stay alive for long enough. Hopefully with more additional items, he can make sure he has a nice solid board.
Wait,
but
what?
It's, oh wait, hold on.
Wait, what? I'm trying to figure out what happened there. I thought for a second we just seen the Yumi getting sold, but I don't know if that's...
No. I think it's was it a magnet?
It must have been a magnetic remover.
Because the guard breaker was on the Yumi. That's not anymore.
That's right.
It was
So
on the bench. So
item change.
Yeah, I think so.
Mild moment of confusion for all of us, Captain.
Oh boy!
Here.
Oh no!
He's doing everything at the very last second. You're in a heart attack. Here, 2 beers. He just slow down. One person who doesn't need to slow down though is number 6. That's Refresh Wow, and number 4, 2 beers. They're both very close. See, a lot of love. I think Brozilla shared the chat in his Discord. That's why we're seeing so many people coming out in support of Brozilla. But I'm sure he will appreciate it when he watches it back afterwards.
Honestly, with Brozilla, I'm really just rooting for him as a player and as a person. This is not someone whose Twitch streams I watch or anything, but the fact that they've came out of absolute nowhere from just hitting Masters in set 5.5 and 6, and never really done much in the way of ranked beyond that, to find them playing with this caliber of player and holding their own, that is proof that Brozilla is one hell of a contender.
When we're talking about caliber players, Balotelli, they will go 1v1 with Brozilla in this round. The Soraka does drop though, so Balotelli will have the best of this round. Let's check in on our players who are in peril as the Draven of Refresh Wow, I think, is just about to drop again, which will put Refresh Wow out of this round.
Yeah, and additionally...
Oh, we lost 2 beers!
Oh no, 2 beers
Yeah,
as
we
well.
lost 2 beers as well! So that means it is free territory, I think, for DeVito, who is, I mean, you know, all those mascots are up for grabs, and alongside the Yumi too. Oh, there we go.
It was
only needs to find... Ooh.
Oh, maybe?
Maybe? Oh, I don't think that the shop is being too kind.
No, not going to happen this time. But DeVito, though, I suppose, you know, when you're as low on the table with just 4 points overall compared to the 14, 15 points of part of the Part Bowl, you're probably much more willing to take some big risks, like saying, I'm going to contest the comp, only one of us will make it out of this round alive. And apparently this time it's going to be DeVito.
Oh yeah, that's paid off.
I mean, it's doing so much damage.
Being at the bottom of the table does not make you a bad player in this competition by any standard at all. We are looking at some of the best players in Europe right now.
Yeah, it's always very hard. You've got such incredible caliber of players here. Certainly when I was playing in Day 1 and 2, you play against players like Balotelli, Sweller, Padabol, you almost discount the first couple of spots in the lobby because they're so ridiculously strong.
Absolutely.
It's just hard to ever get one over them.
So our boy Balotelli looking on, not Balotelli, apologies. Our boy Brozilla looking to be on 1 life now with 8 HP remaining.
I'm curious to see if if Brozilla's held anything back, because so far, Brozilla in the 2 out of the 4 games they're playing here today, they have not broken into the top 4. They've been denied every single time. Game 1, Game 2, particularly in Game 1, it looked like they were almost dead certain to get there. But they're missing out by the smallest of margins.
They're just really doing everything they can to try and find that final 2 Yumis.
Yeah. It's not quite gonna happen. And this is the thing, like, they were looking very strong early on because they hit the 3 stars. But then, there were still 2 other people contesting, and only now the last person just died who had the majority of the Yumis. So it's not quite working in your favor if you're gonna go for a heavy contested comp. Maybe early you can win it out, but now late game it is gonna come and hunt them, and it's gonna be a big fight in order to stay alive. The Yumi is doing something here, but question is how much more.
Brozilla knows how to be a showman. saw everyone spamming the emotes in the chat and knew they had to come through huge. But yeah, I mean, that was absolutely crazy. Of course, let's break down a little bit about what's going on with the comp here. We've got the brawlers in the front line. I'm going to use this. I really like this as an illustration tool. We've got the brawlers in the front line. But one thing which we haven't really been talking about too much is we've got the heart building up during the round. The brawlers take so long to die that Soraka ends up with not just the Archangel's AP, but also the heart AP. She hits like a truck in these really late rounds.
Yeah, that front line is going to buy so much time. And look at the items on the Sejuani as well. The Ionic Spark, the Morello shredding the team whilst Soraka throws in these absolute missiles. Like, it's this is a strong team. Brazil has assembled some army here. And it's just, can the front line hold out long enough for Soraka to do exactly what she has to do?
Coming up against Potterball, who is our score leader in the tournament. Soraka is chewing through, but there's still a Yasuo who's incredibly hard to put down. This is the Yasuo that Potterball committed in from the start, and it will be sending out our friend Brozilla in 5th place for a 3rd time in a row.
That is just so painful. Like, 5th 3 times in a row. I mean, it's consistent. You gotta give him that. But yeah, I bet he really wished to have placed a bit higher. Now, this is the thing. The Yasuo being 3-starred, and it has Omnivamp, so it has so long durability in a round, and it could just shred alongside everyone. There are level 8 actually get another Vayne, so maybe they can still work out a 3-star there, because the majority of the damage is here coming from the Duelist. That of course is having 6 of them on the board.
Well, further to your point, Vearless, I think that's the problem that Brozilla really had, is that these comps have kind of got different aspects of them. Some are really good at doing AoE damage, some are really good at doing single target damage. But against what Potterball is doing right now with a 3-star Yasuo, with that Omnivamps you mentioned, and the stacking up, Edge of Night, the Titan Resolve, if you don't have massive single target damage, you just cannot kill him.
Also, I just want to peek in, if we can, into number 2, that's Balotelli. Because he's 16 HP. Maybe if he takes a very big loss, he could actually go down. But he has decided to hit level 9 as of right now. So 6 Spellslinger, 5-star Guardian. And this is... Oh, no, it's not quite good enough. And he does manage to hang on for another round. But I think the main problem, and this is really why I'm not quite a big fan of Starter Guardians, they lack a lot of frontline in their units. So the frontline just really is coming out of the Annie. It was only a 2-star, the Alistar, no items, Echo, just a 1-star too. So that means they're just gonna shred through them within just a couple of seconds.
We do have a big pickup for Balotelli, potentially. The Syndra 2-star is being offered, but I think maybe instead just looking to hold on to as much on the bench as possible. There's only 1 life in it for Balotelli, so their decision is final.
Oh, that's interesting. I think most players in that position would take the Syndra. Oh no, the Annie gets Zephyred!
Oh no, it's a 3-star Jax.
He's now free to go absolutely wild on the back line. We have still got a lot of Spellslingers, a lot of damage, so Jax is staying up and alive. The Celestial Blessing means that Jax has to be burst. He cannot be DPS down. He's a monster. He gets knocked up in the air. He's almost gone, but he will not survive. And that means Balotelli knocks out number 1 Sweller Tiger.
Oh, that is his friend and countryman, also both Italian players there. That was absolutely nail-biting to watch.
Oh, the way they ended someone's life in there as well is really do or die again. Still up for 2 players. Both Balotelli and Potterball 3 and 2 HP only. It's currently Davido, who is very stable, who has hit level 8. the Yumi freestar, everything he wants, he got. He has an amazing frontline unit of Galio too. Oh, but look at the damage that is being done as of right now.
Yeah, the Yumi has got the Axiom Arc and the blue buff as well, so she is casting like absolutely crazy. There goes Valtelli, but Paderbowl holds on, looking to try and grab themselves another first place.
But imagine if the Vito wins. He goes from last place currently. I mean, I'm not quite sure what it will do with the standings, but he will definitely climb up the scoreboard and making that very last game that we have on our hands super interesting to watch.
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about with the prize money. Even just eking yourself up a couple of positions makes a huge amount in the money that you're going to receive as prize takings at the end of the tournament. So there's everything to play for the players that are currently sitting maybe at the bottom of the scoreboard. They are not down and out just yet, as proven by Davido here.
Yeah, and just getting the win against this caliber of players is something to write home about in the first place. This Yumi is absolutely off the charts, scary strong. We'll see if Paderbowl, who committed in from the very first augment to this Yasuo carry, will it be strong enough to stand up against the Fury?
Oh, no!
This kitty has got claws, and it will be a first win of the finals for Davido, going from last and taking the first.
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
Congratulations, Davido of Germany.
That was just so beautiful. The Yumi, like, I was scared. The Yasuo was coming into the backline, but no, the Yumi just decided to one-hit the Yasuo. Why not? And with that, we have a very nice win coming out of the Vito, which is just, it's so exciting that, like, anything can still happen, and maybe even in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the big winner for that one's going to be Paderbowl, though. Managing to make top two, especially, it's amazing news when someone else takes the top spot away from your direct competitors. That means that you functionally just move that much closer to claiming the first LAN championship.
That's for sure. That was a really great comeback for Davido there. And it's so good to finally see this mascot comp that we've seen contested again and again and again come to fruition. This is exactly why these players are gunning towards the Nasus and the Galio's early game. Like, this is the comp. That was like a textbook example on what you want to see in the comp.
Yeah. It was a bit scary, having the heavy contestant, but then they hit the early free starts. We're already on such a good way with the Yumis, and once that other player who was contesting was gone, boom, free star came through with amazing items on top of it, and it's just simply unbeatable.
Alright, gentle friends, we will be going to break before we come into our final game of the Dreamhack TFT EMEA first LAN ever. And we'll crown ourselves our first LAN ever champion, which they'll be able to carry with them for the rest of their days. We'll be going to a roughly 5-minute break again. These have tended to be a little bit longer, so maybe I'll put in 6 minutes just to put us on the safe side. But when we come back, we shall find ourselves a champion. You do not want to miss it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are about to kick off Game 4 here in Hannover. I'm joined here by Vearless Games and Counterfeit Cast. How are you feeling about the series so far?
Well, so far so good, I would say. I mean, we have seen a lot of variation, a lot of contestant comps here and there, but I feel like there have been some very impressive comps as well. We saw the 9 Laser Corps, which is very hard to achieve, alongside with the 8 Brawler. Maybe not as solid as the Laser Corps one, and especially last game, the mascots were just winning it all.
Those mascots were amazing.
I mean, it's even more impressive as well. You know, we talked about DeVito coming in and contesting that composition to get to that point and still coming first. That's astronomically difficult to do. You know, when you spend so much of the game under strength, you only get to realize your full comp's power nearly right at the end of the game.
Yeah, he hit pretty late. And Counterfeit, what do you think? Do you think perhaps that maybe Davido being lower in the standings pushed him to take that risk in the game?
Oh, for sure. I think, you know, when you've got so little to lose, you know, the worst case scenario is you end up exactly where you started off before. Then I think, you know, you're much more willing to go absolutely ham. But friends, we have ourselves a position here where of course in the Dreamhack LAN, the top 3 take home the largest prizes, and we've got ourselves a pretty solid top 3.
Yeah, our top 3 right now is looking at Paddy Ball with 22 points, and then we've got Italy's Balotelli with 20 points, and in 3rd place currently, we have Italy's Sweller Tiger with 18 points. So a pretty fierce top 3. Our person in 4th place right now is Brozilla with 13 points, so there's quite the gap.
Yeah, even coming in 5th place is DeVito with 12 points too. So who knows? Maybe one of those two could come in clutch. For example, if a player like Sweller Tiger is gonna have a bad game, and then Brazil or DeVito actually a very good one. We have seen DeVito win just now, so maybe if he's gonna be doing the same thing again, who knows? He could still come in clutch for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, there is still that mobility moving up and down the table. I think for the Brazil fans in the chat, you know, as we were discussing before we came on air, you know, we've got 1,500 for 1st place, 1,000 for 2nd place, 750 euros for 3rd place, and then 550 for 4th place. But there's a drop off between 4th and 5th, as you'd expect in the TFT competition. Top 4 is really where you want to be. So while the top 3 is very heavily contested, that 4th spot is very much up for grabs.
Oh yeah, Brozilla very much being the people's champion here today in chat. We have Brozilla's fans calling from the absolute rooftop, showing him support today. And it's great to have you all here, so shout out to all the Brozilla viewers that we've got in chat.
Yeah, but also shout out to the players, for example, Refresh WoW and Two Beers, who are currently at the bottom. Still, a lot can happen because at the bottom, going from lowest to high. Also, hello to all the players tuning in there in the background too. But we have, you know, 7, 8, and then 9 points. Even the bottom 3 right now is very close, and a lot of things can still shit.
I'm fascinated to see what our players bring out for this final time because, you know that people are always, as you know, all mentioning before, the Chinese meta is definitely still leading the way. I mean, we saw it happen at Dragonlance Championship. China taking 3 of the top 4 spots. Still Japan, number 2. Still pretty good. But, I mean, so China's still really much defining the way we're playing, the way we're going to be playing in the future. So I'm fascinated to see if any of our players have got anything that's really fresh off the presses to bring into the final game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with Balotelli in Game 1 and Game 2, sort of leaning towards that more Chinese meta of having, like, the threats with a carry in, you know, whether that be a Zoe or a Talia, but the Chinese meta is shining through even in the depths of Dreamhack here, so this is great.
Yeah, so far, I'm very happy to see all these different types of comps coming out, and the threats, I think especially are just really nice because not a lot of people are leaning into that. So you have this free range, you can easily choose their champions, and especially early on, that ends you with a very strong board. Maybe later on you can switch into something else if you manage to hit some other units. but it's a great opening if you can have some. You know, especially nowadays, you get some from orbs very early on in the game. So if you manage to hit some, you might as well just lean into it.
Something we've not seen that. Oh,
no,
is that us just getting? Oh, sorry. Something I've not seen that I thought we might have is more again this Chinese meta of showing up with two-star Vel'Kozes going off at different times to create the chain CC effect against, like, say, your large Jax carries or your large Taliyah carry or just any sort of carry lockdown. And I wondered if we would see it in game 2 with Balotelli and his 3-star Vel'Koz, but he did instead opt to do the 3-star version of that. Yeah, I wonder, you know, is this an impressive strategy? Do you think we'll see it?
I'm not sure if we're gonna be seeing it again. We've seen it now a few times here and there, but then the most previous game, we actually saw them lean into the Spellslinger Taliyah comp, which on the previous 2 days they were actually leaning into probably the most. So wouldn't be surprised to actually see that come out again, because that seems to be sort of like the comfortable ground for Balotelli.
Yeah.
So just to update you guys, we're just trying to get hold of the clean feed at the moment. So we'll be in with the game as soon as we've got the information. But please, I think we will have to just talk a little bit more about the best comps we're expecting to see while we get that sorted out.
Well, yeah, I think in this final game for sure there is going to be just another rush of at least 3 players, I think, picking up the Nasus, picking up the Galio, looking to get that real strong mascot start. And it seems to just be he who remains wins with that if you manage to hit it uncontested enough.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that was the previous game, of course, the case where the hero augments came first and therefore really dictated really where comps were going to be going. Because you have that one unit that has, I mean, a lot of additional powers, whether it be health or attack speed or whatever it may be. But then building around it because, you know, you have it, so you might as well use it. But yeah, it kind of depends. Where are we gonna get the hero augment? Can it be really beneficial late game if then, you know, you suddenly get the carry you opt to really go for, and then it can be super strong. Or again, you know, if we're gonna have the hero augments very early on, we might see once again very contested comps.
This is true, yeah. We haven't seen any late game hero augments on 4-2 yet. Of course, the late game hero augments on 4-2 have a chance to give you a 5-cost champion. And I think those always really spice up the game and really add some excitement in the air. But yet to see that, but I would really like to see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we know some of those late game augments can absolutely be, you know, devastating when they do land. I think we may need to go to a short break. I'm going to see if I can chase some people, literally chase some people around the venue to try and find what happened to our clean feed of the game itself, because it seems to have gone a little AWOL, and the lobby has started without us. So that is very bad news from where we're concerned. So as soon as possible, we'll be back, hopefully with our final game day. It would be devastating if we've been left behind, but we'll update you guys as soon as we've got any news. For now, please hold tight, and we'll be back as soon as possible.
Ja. Also da kann man schon richtig froh sein, dass es tatsächlich eine Nasus da vorne ist.
Ne? Aber es ist sehr bad. Ich habe enorm viel Anima-Squad am Anfang gespielt. Und ich mag Jinx auch sehr. Aber gegen... Also er wird hier komplett zerstört werden. Es ist halt so sad. Du kriegst halt... Also es liest sich so geil, dass du HP aufladen kannst. Und wie gesagt, meine besten Runden waren so 600 HP über Anima-Squad. Das sah schon geil aus. Die sind einmal in
Okay, everyone, sorry again for those technical issues there. We are now watching the official Dreamcast Hanover feed coming live to you for Game 4. We have missed the first stage, but here we are ready to pick up and we'll see what our players are up to.
Oh, let's see a little bit what they got. Oh, this is great though, because we have some names, some faces, some reactions now that we can take a look at. Balotelli, very focused, has actually the spell slinger comp going on with a bit of frontline in with the blitz. And then Brozilla is looking to go for a couple of mascots here and there, I saw. And additionally, Two Beers decided to also go for it, and he has great items and goes for the Gadgeteen. And look at that, an early Zed. That could be a champion you want to lean into.
Yeah, Zed still, even after the buff's incredibly strong, and these Gadgeteen items are pretty much always gonna make Zed way better than he currently is. So Two Beers has actually hit an absolute gem with his 2% Zed early.
Check in with our friend DeVito from before. Of course, getting their first place of the finals in the previous game has a calculated loss for this one. So not looking to be dominant early on, but promising a strong later game.
Yeah, DeVito again magneting towards this mascot comp as predicted. We can't really jump about as much anymore, but I will be keeping an eye out for more mascot players.
Ooh.
It's working out pretty well for DeVito so far. They've now got the mascot regeneration combined with the Dragon's Claw regeneration as well. AP comps are going to have real trouble punching through this front line.
Yeah, with the exception of the odd laser core corp that we've been seeing that is more heavily tends to lean more AD. You're right, this lobby really does favor the AP start, and that Gallo is just a big solid chicken boy and he's going nowhere.
Balotelli number 2, bringing out the Gadgeteens as well and getting hold of the early Shroud. With the Lulu carrying the items for the time being, this will be an AP comp, exactly the same, Maizy, up against a comp that is designed to try and not get taken down by these, but it's looking like Balotelli may still be strong enough anyway.
Whoa, yeah, this is the magic of having 2 stars early. Oh no, but the first frontline one actually goes and die, and with Lulu having items also being a 2-star, it is in fact then, hold on, let me see, Balotelli who won that fight. Not on full 100 health yet, but he is nice and stable, up on 92 health.
Pardabol, who is our current leader in the lobby on 22 points, is also undefeated as of this first stage, with number 5, Brozilla, just behind them.
Brozilla is going to be looking to ascend out of the 5ths that he's been getting over and over this game. We have so much chat, so much support here from in the chat as well. I really want to see Brozilla do his chat and Hungary proud.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see, and you know that the players will smile so much afterwards, knowing that they will support him. I think it's, for Swiller Tiger and so many other players, I think, we've seen them, certainly, for the Spanish players, of course, there are no Spanish players playing today, but the Spanish LANs have been impressive themselves. Here at Dreamhack, we've seen the German fans come out in force for their league finals as well. It was amazing to see that many players reacting that strongly to TFT being played on the big screen.
Yeah, that for sure is a fantasy of mine. Like, I just want to have a big live TFT event with a huge crowd all cheering and yelling for TFT. And one day when that happens, I hope to be there.
We just got to keep on believing. So 2 Beards on 10 points, though we've got to bring back in this kind of division here. We've got the Swallow Tiger, Balotelli, Thunderbolt, all on around 20 points, battling for the LAN title. Everybody else, outside of a very specific scenario, are really battling each other to try and get that number 4 spot and the largest prize reasonably available.
Ooh, Sweller Tiger here dropping down to 45 HP. Ooh, we get a little mid-game champion augment.
Oh, Potable also. What is he going to be picking into? He has Laser Corp as of right now. And he picked up the Yasuo. And this is really solid. We saw it come out earlier, which was not for him. That was for Brozilla. But he could go for a bit of a same strategy.
We've got the Yasuo coming in. This time it's going to be the supportive stance, so we still see some other duelists emerge. I like that we have got a lot of punch from the backline, especially once we start to get these duelist stacks really going.
Yeah, Paddleball really looking to snowball here with the Yasuo. Whether this this Yasuo is going to stay for the whole game or it's just a little mid-game boost remains to be seen. But as you said, we have seen this be part of a comp that's done decently well today. Absolutely mowing through our player there with the Yasuo.
That's a pretty good so far. Anima Squad, one of those traits we're definitely seeing a lot of, a fairly large lack of love for. But what we've got going on for Swallow Tiger is working pretty darn well. We're really going all in on getting the strongest ball possible. As again, we check in with Two Beards, who is doing pretty well themselves. 4-round win streak. Ball on a streak of their own, as Brozilla has dropped off from the top of the table.
Yeah, Paddleball's really going to look to want to keep that strength just now because he is currently top of the leaderboard with 22 points. And he's just want to sail through this as powerful as possible to get that first place. This is our final game of the day.
Let's see. The Lulu are actually on both ends coming into play, but oh no, they're just simply a lot stronger, especially with then the Talia already being into play, the full spell slinger activated, even with maybe not that many items up on the carries, already very strong.
It's worth noting it for Two Beards as they try and fight their way back. They have got clear minds, so they're getting their extra XP extra round and getting access to those higher end units like Viego very quickly. Even while they're building towards Spellslinger, they're able to bring out the best stuff they find in their enhanced shops.
Finding this lobby leading a bit more AP. I would say that the lobbies so far have been fairly balanced, but this to me seems like quite an AP heavy lobby.
Oh, for sure.
He picked up a misfortune.
Oh.
So that is very nice. They can go for both the Kaiser Misfortune carry, I would say, or the Kaiser still being temporary, and then you want to move your Anima Squad emblem to someone else. Maybe, well, no, actually, ideally, you want to keep it probably like this. And so far, so good. Ooh, but at the same time, look at this. Gangplank free being hit. We already had a Galio free. So this front line looking solid and even on the way for 3 stars of the other champs.
Pals, we've seen this one before from DeVito. They took it to first place. Do you believe in 2 first places in a row for DeVito?
Honestly, nobody else seems to be too heavy into mascot. Certainly not as heavy as DeVito. And I could see him pulling it off. He got a taste of success. He pulled those risks out because he was near the bottom at the start of the last game. It's clearly paid off, and he's back for more. Him and his mascots are ready to cheer and win.
So let's take a look at the overall position. Refresh WoW is at the very bottom with 23 HP. DeVito, we're looking to try and fight their way up from 34. With number 1, Sweller Tiger, one of our big 3 on sub 50 HP.
Like, he does have the Z with pretty decent items on it, but it's somewhere stuck between waters, I would say. They have the 2 mascot, the 2 brawlers, or there's some sort of frontline going on. but it's not quite one cohesive comp as of yet. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much they can stabilize before losing too much HP, and then you're sort of forced to just roll down instead.
I mean, this is shaping up to be one of 2Bits' best games of the actual finals itself, though, of course, it had some very good games in the group stage. Finals has not been so kind to 2Bits so far, but maybe here in the final game they finally hit their stride.
Yeah, it's nice to see Two Beers come in. Two Beers is someone that has a lot of personality, has had a lot of experience in TFT. He's represented his country playing the game. And his alt account is called Spritney Beers. And honestly, anyone with an alt
Yes.
that's called that is like top in my books.
Mine as well. I mean, even if it isn't going to necessarily win you the competition for 2Bits to win the lobby here, to end out the final game of the win, it's going to still feel amazing. Because, of course, we can only have one winner overall. It's still most likely to be Partible number 3, who's leading on 22, Balotelli on 20, Sweller Tiger on 18, and everyone else much, much further behind. Brozilla and DeVito are dark horse candidates to potentially take the title, but they will need the top 3 to basically finish bottom 3 for that to happen.
This is looking very solid. They have the Talia who could become their carry, or even the Sona, but most likely Talia because of the Spell Slinger and the additional buffs. But there are not that many items as of yet. Just a bit of tankiness. So I'm not too sure how great this is gonna do also with a lot of them being only 1-star units, and then you're going up against the mascot comp that is 3 stars on so many levels already, and the Yumi just slaughtering every single unit up on the board.
Oh, Two Beers covering his face there as he takes the damage in. The win streak will be over for him, but he is by no means out. He's doing great this game.
Oh, he's doing incredibly. To be playing the clear mine where you can't get the old 2-star versions of units because you can't build them up without losing access to that free XP. I think now with the with the win streak over, this is the chance for 2Bits to start bringing back in, the actual team building aspects of what they're doing and actually get a stronger board. Now they know they can't just beat everybody.
Oh, absolutely. One thing to remember as well is this is day 3 of the competition for these competitors. These competitors have been throwing themselves at TFT all day, every day for the last 3 days at least, and that's not even mentioning the prep they've put in. So to watch it all come to a final just now is incredibly exciting, and I just feel great for everyone involved.
Well, 2Beards will be going up against Sweller Tiger. It's been a while since we've been back here. Vearless, of course, noted the Misfortune building up the threat in the corner. While Kaiser's doing a lot of the immediate damage, Misfortune will be a great finisher, but she doesn't fire exactly where she needs to.
Oh, yeah! Oh, this is just rough. The front line simply not being strong enough, and then your back line. Yeah, without you wanting, of course, that to happen, but they're gonna get, or they're gonna die way too soon before you actually get the damage in, before Misfortune can really properly ult. So even though there were a lot of strong units, it's gonna be a little, maybe, yeah, not good enough just yet. Oh, no, Misfortune just had it a 2-star over at Sweller Tiger. And here with Padabo, very solid front line. The game playing still there, though. So I would assume that to be temporarily, and then looking for maybe Zed? Maybe, who knows?
We'll find out what's going to be longer term as DeVito will be coming up face to face again. Keep your eye on those Yumi shots. Each one of them will tear a chunk out of the front line. Yasuo will keep the front line secure for the time being with this rot. As Kaiser dashes back in, I think it's going to be DeVito claiming another victim.
Yeah, this 3-star Yumi is on fire, and these are great items. The blue buff is so important on Yumi, and DeVito's just got it like it's nothing.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see that third item come in, so this is going to be an even stronger Yuumi come a later game. But again, let's take stock of where we are. We are almost set up the same way in this lobby as we are in the tournament overall. We've got 3 players at the top looking nice and healthy way ahead of the pack, and the other 5 in much more peril below them.
Yeah, it's interesting how these current standings are being mirrored in this game right now. But again, we cannot count out Brozilla or Davido, who again could pull out something really special here and, you know, really better their standings.
Also, I just want to highlight something that Balotelli, he is currently at 23 HP. And he is up for, you know, potential winning the whole thing if he does well. But he is in very troubled water as we speak.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about before. You know, if we do see the top players, particularly all 3 top players, go out early on, this will open the door for Brozilla and Davido to swoop in and perhaps grab themselves at least a higher placement, if not the title itself. Sweller Tiger, one of those top 3, is also relatively low on health, just 30. The Misfortune 2, recently acquired and doing a great job of tearing into Refresh Wow, who will be our first one out.
Refresh now looking really deflated there, but there is nothing to be sad about on this day. At the end of the day, you have still competed and done well against the best of the best that this region has to offer. Great showing by Refresh Y.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget that they first had to go for the first day, the 2 days of the tournament in order to even get here and battle it out with the best of the best. So the fact that they were already, you know, coming in here as of today has showed that they're really, really good. And who knows where we can see them pop up in the future.
So we see a little bit of the secret to Davido's success. Though coming very, very late into the game, the Pandora's bench is allowing for finding those 3 stars. Going to be up against number 2, I believe, which will be Balotelli, who is looking healthy enough to stoke a lot. But look at that Yuumi damage! Ripped through LeBlanc instantly.
Oh no, it's one-shotting everyone again. This is just almost so painful to watch. Once it hits the ult, boom, you are gone. And that's a big loss there as well for Balotelli.
Speaking of Balotelli before... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
Just speaking with Balotelli before these games today, he told us that he was looking to win this tournament for the Italian Blender Mafia. Now again, I don't know what this means, but it sounds like a noble cause, and I hope he just digs deep and thinks of his Italian Blender Mafia and just pulls back here. We know he's a capable player.
I believe it's just the Italian players together from back when it used to be Blender was the Nocturne variety carry back in the day, that they would just one trick that, hence the Blender Mafia, where they would, you know, we're playing this comp and we want you to know about it, and if you try and contest us, we'll both lose. So
well, see, that makes a tremendous amount of sense, because when I asked Balotelli what was your favorite comp of all time, he just said Nocturne.
Yeah. he lives a particular lifestyle, and that lifestyle is all Blender all day.
I love it.
Oh, now the question is, what are you going to do with this? There is 1-star units everywhere, apart from the Annie, who's a bit tanky, but I am not sure if this is quite going to cut it, and being on just 9 HP, you need some magic to come out right now.
Yeah,
Potentially up against Brozilla, who has just found a 2-star Talia. Will it be? No. It'll be 2 Beers instead, who's got their own 2-star Talia. This Nunu is going to have to do work for Balotelli.
The Nunu is getting into the back lane. And it's doing some damage, but at the flip side, the Nunu goes down. And I'm not sure how much longer Balotelli can live here. They're trying to hang on. The Sona is the last remaining champion, but yeah, this one is probably going to hurt.
That's going to put a big smile on Paderborn's face, the main contender for the title of Dreamhack LAN champion, has now been taken out of the mix. Sweller Tiger, number 1, is still alive, still with a chance, but with every player that falls, the amount of points available to differentiate our top players becomes smaller and smaller.
Yeah, Potable, he is technically not on top of this lobby as of right now, but in the points he already is, and with then it is 2 beers coming in, maybe with a potential win. It's still too early to tell, but if that is gonna happen, even if that will happen with the points that 2 beers currently has, he can climb up himself, but he's not gonna be snatching away that, well, what looks like a potential victory for Potable.
2 beers and 2 Urgots as well, putting down a lot of wave power, and I think it's going to be really tight to the end. I think 2 beers is with the double Urgot. I think they're trying to build up their economy to go for a first place.
Two beers keep throwing units. Oh my goodness. Sweller Tiger only just taken the tiniest of dink because of the little Cinder that could.
Oh my gosh. Of course, he's still at Davino, who's not on a win streak right now, and is also in 6th place currently. Number 1, Sweller Tiger, another of our big 3, is in peril. Both of our 6th and 5th place players 1 life away from death.
Oh, this could potentially be a knockout. Let's see if Potty Bull can take down Sweller Tiger.
Okay, who's going to keep on pumping out damage. Misfortune looking for that big cast, but she is going to be sending it mostly the wrong way. The Kai's on the opposite corners of the board, going absolutely ham, but it's looking like the Tiger has found their prey. Part of the ball takes a big hit. The number 1 and number 2 remaining players on the table clashing fiercely.
Oh no. So we have 5 players up on the board that have somewhat around the same HP. It's like from 9 up to 22. So I feel like we do have the Vito and then Potable sort of like on crit, so they could probably die. Same goes for who's number 1 again? Sweller Tiger. Yeah, so they are in a bit more troubled water in comparison then to Brozilla, and we also then have Kevin Parker, who is actually doing pretty solid currently in 2nd place, coming also from the bottom. But yeah, so far the clear winner seems to be 2 beers.
I think 2 beers has just found that Urgot 2 and Alistair 2 as well. I think we are setting up for a last game domination. Again, what this will mean for 2 beers is they will leap forward and almost certainly claim that 4th place prize themselves, which is a substantial step up. Paderbol's making the last second changes, though. We've got a big old battle on our hands.
On the bench, they're just hoping for, I think in this case, the Nelly Sin to come through, but it's not coming through. Even though the Yumi, of course, is free start, a lot of the frontline units are free start here as well. It might become enough to clutch the Misfortune not hitting the Yumi again, and that means the Yumi can continue to strike. The frontline is still alive, but they're targeting the target dummy, but still, with only 1 hit, the Yumi does, again, more damage. But it's not gonna be ending alive just yet.
Unfortunately for Partable, they will go out in 6th. The current points leader has been removed from the equation, leaving from our big 3 only Sweller Tiger standing.
And
oh wow.
Sweller Tiger remaining with just 5 HP in a dream.
This could become everything in this case, because there is 4 points difference between Potable and Sweller Tiger. So that would mean Sweller Tiger would need to win in order to place higher than Potable, I think.
Yeah, Sweller Tiger is holding on for dear life here.
Oh no, we're being switched away from Brozilla, who's on their win streak.
No!
No,
Well,
Brozilla!
We've got to know what happens to Swiller Tiger because this affects the rest of the competition. The big three are down to 1, and now they're down to 0.
Oh, what upset!
Brozilla? They hold on! They've broken the curse! Brozilla will be 5th no more!
Let's go, Brozilla. I love this redemption arc for him. I don't think there's any feasible way for him to take the win at this point, but I just wanted to see him do better than 5th. I said it before the game. I'm happy to see it now. Let's go.
Well, of course, we do still have DeVito, who is also on 12 HP, but he has been on 12 for so long that I feel he is slowly stabilizing. Now, the lead is still yet to come through. But perhaps the next one is gonna be it. Is of course even more additional items coming through, either more tankiness that they can add up on the Malphite. Actually, gonna be choosing for that. Oh, and that is, well, you're gonna hit a Malphite now, but you already have the Malphite. So what are you gonna do? Level up to 7. And then hope for a good unit you can add in as well. Perhaps a Brawler would be nice, but they're not. Well, there's a Vi in the shop. But let's see what they opt to go for here. So, just adding in the extra lead there.
Pandora's Bench, of course, can give you more champions of a champion you've previously 3-starred. Which I just know someone is going to make a crazy video out of, and I want to see that. So, tag me in that if you make that.
Well, we've got 2 beards coming for their first target. DeVito, who has really surprised in Game 3, looking to do it again. 2 beards is so strong. The Urgot at 2-star will get the cast off, but the rest of the board is falling apart. This Yuumi is just too damn strong.
No, but the Yuumi is dead.
Yuumi's out.
The Yuumi is dead, and with that, only the frontline units remain. Now, they are doing a lot of damage themselves, slowly getting into the back lane, but I'm not too sure if the Chicken Man can actually do it, struggling with even the Annie up front. And with that, they survive on 1 HP!
Brozilla is gone in 3rd place, but at least he did break a top 4 in our LAN finals. So it all comes down to this. Can DeVito go first 2 games in a row? The 3-star has arrived. The power is overwhelming.
No. They have a Janna. They have 3 stars all across the board. This could be the winning clutch, and they could do it on 1 HP as well.
Oh, 1 HP to Dream. 1 HP in a Dream. What beautiful way to come back after a rough game 1 and 2.
The Swiller Tiger will be leaving this one with at least 7 points if they come in 2nd. I believe, if I'm doing my maths correctly, we'll have to figure out our maths in a second, because right now we've got the fight on our hands.
Oh,
2 beards is still so incredibly strong. Number 8, DeVito, has 1 life to live and 1 way to die.
Oh no, the Nunu up on the Yu-Gi-Oh! It was so scary, but now all the other units are gonna be crawling, hunting for that Yuumi, and 2 bears grabs that last victory, a smile upon their face. And, well, now this last scoreline is gonna be very interesting because a lot has changed.
Yeah,
So,
that's Germany's 2 bears coming in with a win.
and you can see the incredible stage there of the Dreamhack LAN finale. What an incredible thing is, as you're both saying, to be able to see a live crowd, seeing a live TFT finals, it's something that I think at one point would not even seem like a reasonable proposition. We do have our final scores arriving, and Partner Ball managed to get through, even landing a 6th in the last game.
Wow, that's incredible.
Consistency is just key. Having, of course, a win 2 times the 2nd place, and sure, you can then afford a bit more of a rough game, but still having so many points across the board. It was very close, though. Swiller Tiger, who had a 3rd, a 2nd, and then 2 times a 4th place finish, just a bit lower, and then, yeah, falling 2 points short in order to come through for that 2nd or the 1st spot. And Balotelli, he switched from 2nd into 3rd, I believe, because he is now up on 22 points.
Oh boy.
What an exciting final that was. That's so glorious. Davido coming back, being uncontested with his mascots the whole game this time, and showing us really what you can do and how to do that comp it was a masterclass.
I'm just going to start queuing in right now and start re-rolling those mascots. Like, I've been taught by the master here. All I need to do is apply these lessons, and maybe one day too, I'll be up on the big stage.
Yeah, it's a shame that he had such a rough beginning, where the first game he was 8th place and then 6th, and it got better and better. But yeah, because of those 2 more rough games, it's not quite gonna get it, but still top 4. He lands in 4th place.
I mean, that's incredibly impressive. I mean, I think Maizy, you were talking about it before as well. You know, for players like Brozilla in particular, you know, just getting this kind of experience is going to be enormously impactful for their future as a TFT player going forward. You know, there's only, well, at least ideally, each time you play, you know, in this kind of environment, it becomes a little bit less intimidating. You say, you know, I don't need to worry about, like, you know, what that experience is like. I can focus purely on my own play.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, as someone that's done a good few Twitch rivals now, and as someone that's come from a background similar to Brozilla, like being high ranked in a few different sets and then maybe not played the others, and then all of a sudden you are in with the best of the best in Europe. It's massively intimidating. And anytime you're in a lobby and you're thinking, oh wow, I've never really done this before, and maybe I've peaked master, and then you're just in a lobby with all these challengers or people that maybe you admire that you recognize from previous worlds, or, you know, like EMEA champions, and then you're against them, that does weigh on your mental a good bit. And as someone that's been there, it gets easier for sure. So I don't think Brozella should ever count himself out after today's show, and he should just be like, do you know what? I belong here. And he does.
Yeah, and he got really close to 4th place as well, just 1 point off of DeVito. I mean, DeVito is just, of course, slaying the mascot, so you gotta give him some credit because that was absolutely phenomenal. And Brozilla just being relatively stable. You know, we got a 5th, 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 and now a 3rd place. So he improved over time. Yeah, so he can definitely be proud of himself.
And of course, shout out to Two Beards for winning that last lobby as well. I love that we've got, like, you know, a little spread of appreciation for all of our players today. They kind of, you know, Two Beards in this case gets to leave with a win and say, you know what, if we played a few more games, who knows? Maybe I will be the champion now.
That's true. Man. Like, Counterfeit, you're in Hanover right now. Yeah. Like, what is there, like, an atmosphere? Is there a buzz about? Like, what's it like?
Oh, it's incredible here. I mean, you know, I think for the players in particular, if you saw a little bit from them, you know, on the stage, just a chance to spend the time together and kind of like and build out those relationships. They've already said, you know, even before the final started, you know, the chance to build these friendships which will take them forward from this point. Whenever they play against the other people on the ladder, they'll be like, I know that guy. I saw him. I saw AK Wonder getting maybe a little bit merry at the pub and having an extremely infectious and loud and long laugh again and again. Like, these are all memories that are irreplaceable, even outside the competition itself. But, you know, as we've already talked about, the competitive experience is hopefully going to become a lot less rare for TFT players going forward. But for right now, This is invaluable experience that cannot be on anywhere else.
Yeah, and keep in mind as well, this is the first EMEA LAN, if I'm correct. So, I mean, obviously, you know, this game got very popular over the COVID times and everything. So now that luckily we're moving out of it, we can have more LANs with also, you know, actually the players being there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I said it during that final game, and I'll say it again now, but I just, I really do dream of TFT just being huge, like big crowds, everyone watching, everyone yelling when your favorite player gets more dog for the 3rd time in the series. Like, that is what TFT is for me, and the TFT community is something I love. I'm passionate about it, and I just want to see us all come together and do more events, and I'm glad we're moving out of the more cautious sort of COVID times and like into the era of live TFT.
I'm just going to drop, because we're pretty much at an end to things right now. I'm just going to drop you guys' Twitters into the chat just to make it a little bit easier for people to follow you, and hopefully see a lot more of you both to come. Are your Twitches the same as your Twitter handles?
Yes.
No. Oh, but that's fine.
Oh well, please, Vearless, you should be able to drop
The Twitter is fine. The Twitch, if you want my Twitch, it's just Vearless. But
Oh, nice job, managed to get Vearless. All right, so yes, please, everybody watching, please go check out more from MaizyMarizpan and the Vearless games. It's been quite a ride with these amazing players, but say in terms of other TFT stuff, hopefully, there's going to be the next season coming up very soon. I think we've already had some dates announced for the upcoming EMEA season, so hopefully we'll get to see a lot of these same players coming back, including perhaps the Vito, perhaps. Might get the confidence from there. So hope you guys come and join us for that. On this particular channel, you can catch sort of ostensibly bi-weekly casual competitions, which are free to enter competitions where, unlike this one where it's very high stakes, it's very low stakes interaction. So if you feel like maybe you've taken part in a Dreamhack LAN, you're like, oh boy, I've had enough of high stakes competition, I want to have a really chill competition, then that's the place to look for it. But Maizy, Vearless, do either of you have anything you'd like, any projects you're involved with you'd like to shout out before we close today?
I just want to thank you both.
I want to thank
really
everyone
grateful.
too. Yeah.
I've never tried-casted before. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege to work with you both. And I hope to work with you both again soon.
Yeah, it has been a blast. My first jump into TFT, and I can't wait for anything else. And this is also like my last broadcast day of the year. So with this, we're going out with a bang.
Well, you killed it.
Yeah.
I've casted TFT a couple of times, and you are just wonderful. So thank you.
No.
All right, guys.
And thank you, Counter, as well.
No, it's been my honor to cast alongside you both. I hope we will become pals for forever.
You're not getting rid of me.
All right, everyone. So again, please to go check out both of them. Links are in the chat right now to all the social medias and things. For now, that will be it for us from Dreamhack. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast, and hopefully, next time round, you'll be seeing Makes coming back in this slot. So look forward to that. And for now, though, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again down the line. I'll put this back on.
How are you? How are you? Are you happy with
Yeah.
your performance?
Yeah, like when I arrived here, my goal was like, don't be the last because that would be embarrassing. But hello. But
Hello.
I think I extended my expectations, and I ended up in the finals, and I played with one of the best players on the EUV ranked. So I'm actually quite happy about my performance. I learned a lot, and I was like nervous a little bit. Of course, this is my second tournament, and I'm satisfied with my how I did. Sometimes it was a little bit low roll, but it happens. We got to make teams from what we got. So
You did so good, and you were so consistent. And it didn't even look like that you felt any pressure at all from any of the other competitors. Like, you were just there, you were doing your thing, and you killed it.
Yeah, there was the dude next to me was I felt bad for him. Like, he was super nervous. He was like sweating and I just told him, relax, dude, take a deep breath and stuff like that. So I felt bad for him, but I think for the second tournament, I'm actually proud of that performance. I did not expect that, so thank you for the support, everyone, and gotta give back the words to Counterfeit. So thank you again. It was a pleasure to meet you. And,
pleasure.
see you on the next
it was
one.
a pleasure.
Okay? Bye bye.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.
That was so cute.
Yeah, oh, you had so much support in here. Thank you again, all
Yes.
those viewers, for hanging about and showing your love. It really does make a big difference.
Can I hear you?
Oh, and who do we have
Hi.
here?
Hi. Hi, my name is Max. I'm the product lead for Rising Legends from Riot.
Oh, nice to meet you, Max.
How are you feeling after the day? Is everything went well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are quite satisfied with how it went. It was the first time we had like 2 weeks of planning, so I think there's a lot of stuff which didn't go as it was used to plan, but we have a lot of learning, so next time might be even better. So yeah, bear with us. But it was good. It was good.
It was
Yeah,
good.
thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I mean, more than welcome. I love to see you guys here, and I hope you also enjoyed it a bit. I think the games were exciting, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I also, talking about the whole tournament, like, what are you guys, like, the most proud of?
I mean, it's basically the first time we bring international event to a physical event. So we started in the Corona season, so a lot of stuff is online. Also, TFT I think has a opportunity to be most of the time online because we don't depend on latency or ping so much. So on the one side it's great, but yeah, I think it was amazing to see people face to face, meet with them, talk to them, also to see the players interact, exchange ideas, and I think that's what we need to also win the championship at one point again from a mere perspective, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So I want them to be
Yeah.
as competitive as possible. So let them learn from each other, share the best metas, and then hopefully set 8 will be our set, and we will be home the championship cup.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, I would love that. It's amazing to see TFT be a real life event as well, because I've done a lot of league stuff in the past, and to now see that come into TFT, it makes my heart swell up in a good way.
Yeah, I think also like we saw yesterday, we also had the German finals here at Dreamhack. It was really packed. So yeah, the audience are starting to enjoy it as well. So, and it's always so much better if there's a live audience cheering for players and enjoying and clapping, and it's great.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to see. I mean, there's some players that are sort of used to having a bit more of a following and all the pressure, but then some players coming in and sort of like getting to experience that for the first time around. I mean, it's very beneficial for the players and just for the overall experience. So
yeah, we also had 2 players
been a
from the
blast.
LAN area here on the stage now, so I think they also had a good time.
Yeah, it has been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Maybe I can get qualified back here, or you.
What is the plan?
We're just gonna
We
hit
don't
everyone.
know.
I think
Hello,
we've got through
welcome back.
all the players. Going to go back. I'm actually going to go interview AK Wonder in a second. I didn't know about this. Maybe I don't know. Because I can't interview him here because he's going to be interviewed somewhere else. You can't be in 2 places at the same time, unfortunately.
Well, give Wonder my love. He has kicked my butt
Yeah.
many times.
Maizy sends her love for you kicking her butt that many times. Do you want to just show your face on stream for a second?
You can look into the soul of the one he beat up. I wonder.
Are you casting?
We were all casting together. We did the English language cast of the whole. Yeah, it was really good. They did so well.
Aww. No.
Very good. All right, I guess at some point I'm gonna let you guys go and actually, like, I don't know, eat some food and stuff. Gosh, it's barely the afternoon. It feels like it's the evening.
Yeah, I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh,
So
it does.
it has been great fun, and just also getting to see some players and everyone. It's all coming together. We need more of this.
We do.
All right, so back to the goodbye screen again. I swear this time it's for real. But thank you both so much for coming along and doing an amazing job. And hopefully, again, we'll see a lot more of you in the future. Cheers, everyone.
Mal hier an einem Tag auf der Stage. Ihr könnt natürlich auch gerne mitraten, wenn ihr den beiden Tipps geben wollt. Ist natürlich schwierig, aber versucht in eurem Kopf mitzuraten und meldet euch vielleicht mal, wenn ihr schon erkennt. Wir werden hier Pixel an der Wand kriegen und dort wird quasi ein League-Champion langsam aber sicher aufgedeckt. Und ihr beide müsst quasi first melden und sagen, hey, ich weiß es, ich will den Punkt, weil es geht ja auch um ein Gewinn. Ja.
Ihr könnt